Are you curious? So are we. Are you funny? Well, we might be too. So why don't you get on in here, pull up a beverage, take a sip of a chair. This is Empathy and Imagination. Thanks for joining us. My name is Aubrey Cloutier.
And I am Drew Clark. I would like to acknowledge you for taking the time out of your day to listening to the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. Of course, if you want to contribute to this show, you can go to patreon.com/empathy and imagination, or you can just go to YouTube, throw us a comment, thumbs up. This podcast is brought to you by ClarkPoolSpa.com. Any of your pool or spa needs in the Contra Costa County, go to ClarkPoolSpa.com. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Zeist Digital. Zeist Digital deals with all of your computer, networking, and technology needs. ZICED.net. ZICED.net.
We'll be graduating to a .com domain soon.
Yes. Cool.
So it won't be as chintzy.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. We have a special guest today. Hello. Would you? Hey, this is Ashley. Everybody, welcome.
Ashley, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ashley Jane Tomajan from Oklahoma, and happy to be here.
Excellent.
Cool.
Let's do the check-in. Aubrey, would you start us off?
Let's check in. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we have not done this.
You were out of town for Easter. Well, yeah, there was Easter.
Mm-hmm.
There was some other thing happening. I went to Boston. But yeah, it's been like a month or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience has been wondering what's going on with us.
Yeah. All two of our fans are probably scratching their heads.
Yeah.
So I was in Boston for a week. I was specifically in Massachusetts, which is the capital of Boston. And I had mixed feelings about it. As you know, my stepdad is in ill health. So that was tough, but it was good to see the family. And I didn't bring any cough drops back.
Do you have a big family?
Not a big family. It's a small, modest, waspy family. My brother, his wife, my nephew, my mom, dad. So it was good to see them, see friends, hang out with buddies, old friends. It was tough to see my stepdad.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was in the wrong hotel room at first. In the wrong. Well, I was in a hotel, and I was like, I should be at the hospital.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place.
I thought I was in the wrong hospital room when I walked in because he was so shrunken and fucked up.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
But I have to ask this. Did you park the car in the Harvard Yard?
I parked the car in the Harvard Yard, went to Medford, did all that stuff.
Okay. I've never been to Boston.
Went down to Shaw's parking lot with a white Corsica and met Sully.
Jesus Christ.
All that.
I've never been to Boston. I actually dated a guy from Boston. Shout out, you piece of shit from Boston. No, he and I still talk. His name was Sean.
Was it Sean O'Malley?
No, Sean Egerton. Sean Egerton, but it's spelled Egerton.
Huh.
Anyway, but so I've always wanted to go to Boston.
It's got a lot of charm. There's a lot of charm in Boston and a lot of history.
Yes.
A lot of colonial houses, a lot of brickwork.
I want to see the
square
where the Boston Massacre happened. The circle? Is it the circle in the square?
Commons? Boston Commons?
Wherever the first, where the kids were throwing, snowballs at the Confederate. Sorry, not the Confederate soldiers, but at the British soldiers, and then they were putting rocks in the snowballs, and then the Brits opened fire, and that was. Am I making this up? Or does it happen?
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds fun.
It sounds exciting.
But if it didn't happen, we should probably do it because it sounds fun.
And just a little bit more history about it. The first Black American was murdered in that I think it was 5 or 6 kids were killed with the snowball incident. As you guys know, snowballs can be deadly.
They can be.
Yeah.
They can be.
Well, the best murder weapon is an icicle, right?
Yes.
Because the evidence evaporates.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, went to Boston, checked in. That was cool. Playing a lot of music. We played a show last night. No, 2 nights ago.
We
and
did.
We're playing another show tonight.
Correct, tonight.
With the heavy metal, doom and gloom, spooky metal band. Also heading into the studio with another band in May, early May.
Cool. You got dates
Getting
on that?
juiced up for that. May 8th and 9th.
Fuck yeah.
It's like a Monday and Tuesday. So it's pretty cool to take time off work to go into the studio. That feels like...
That's like next level.
Feels cool. to
Feels
do
cool. You feel cool when you get to like take time off work to
go
rock.
do like hobby. It's more than a hobby though. But so that's fun. I haven't been in a recording studio in a while doing recording, so that should be pretty exciting. What else? I think those are the main things.
Cool. Right on.
I'll consider myself checked in.
Okay, thank you. I'll go next. Some of you know I've been like nursing some injuries. Right before our hiatus on the podcast, I shared that I had hurt my anal muscle. One of those. There's like 2 straps that go around your buttle down in the favorite parts at the end there, and they open and
The
close.
dildo straps?
The squeezy, yeah. The straps, they wrap around, and I hurt one of those pooping way too hard. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't yet own a squatty potty. And I'm a heavy pooper. I can be, and...
Do we need to have like a poop intervention?
Well, I've already gave myself one.
In the form of the squatty potty?
Yes.
I kind of want to ask you, like, are you a long-lost Tomajan that's been lost? Because this is something that we discussed at the dinner table in my house.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be. That sounds so like I hurt my buttle, and it was hurting so that I couldn't stand up straight.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
Wow.
I'm doing the pool business like a cave person, like kind of dragging my knuckles, leaning over, going, "Oh, my ass hurts," just like it was rough.
Did you dip your butt into the pool and there's like steam coming off like a cartoon?
I could have, man.
Yeah.
As soon as I and shout out to Care by Design. This is a brand. Shout out to Care by Design CBD spray. I sprayed like 4 sprays, and almost instantly I stood up and went.
Did you spray on the affected zone, or
I could have. I actually thought about that. I thought about pulling
that's what
my
I
pants
thought.
down.
You were
and
like,
pulling
yeah,
my
I had
cheek,
some
like,
CBD
No.
spray. I was like,
just right in there.
This is the stuff
But I'd be worried if I farted too hard, I might lose it. So I didn't want to do that.
because I mean it's super. There's tons of nerves right near the surface, so it would probably take
Yeah.
effect immediately.
So,
So the squatty potty fixed all this.
So it did. So
Huh.
I'm better now. I'm mostly healed. And today, for the very first time since the injury, I went for a bike ride.
Ah,
That felt so good. I rode up to the top of, to the Cummings Skyway. What's
okay.
that road
yeah,
up there?
That's
Yeah,
far. Whoa,
that-
that's really far.
it's like 2 miles, but it's really steep.
okay.
That's
You
what
have
I
to go-
mean by really far.
Yeah, you go
And
down a
the,
canyon, then back up it, and then down and then back up it. That's how you have to ride that.
Were there any taint complaints that you filed?
No, I was okay.
Did you sit down, or were you pedaling like
Mostly
standing up the whole
sitting.
way?
I was mostly sitting, but I did stand up to pedal some of the times, and I was pretty nervous about it hurting, but it didn't. What was hurting was my legs, of course, because I hadn't done it in like a
'Cause
month.
you felt the burn.
I was burning. And so it was both harder than I thought it was going to be, and my heart was like, you still want to go? And my
That's good.
legs were burning, and I was like, oh, good, I need this. Good. I felt like I was getting beaten up by myself, but it was good.
It's a good feeling.
So yeah, I have that good feeling going.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
What else is going on here? Could you?
Yeah. Sorry.
So you're doing great. So what else is going on in my check-in? Yeah, so we did the cool show. I got a lot of accolade. I felt really seen in the way that when we were, after playing the show, people liked it.
I got that impression.
I felt really good for people to go, man, you're
Being
amazing.
a bass player, I don't get a lot of people coming up to me after the show.
But
Bass players should
Which
get
is
more
fine.
recognition.
in the
You guys
guest
have this-
speakers, you're a lead instrument.
I think tonight I might up the showmanship a bit.
Yeah, that sounds good. So we have a show tonight. So
I
we're
don't-
doing all
and,
these shows. It's
you know.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Where
This
are you
is-
guys performing at?
We're going to play tonight at the Red Hat
Red
in
Hat.
Concord about 10 o'clock tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah. So riding here, super steep, feels good. Butt still hurts. Foot's still injured. I'm still limping every day. I still, like, my tendons are messed up.
That's been going on for a while.
Too long. So I need to go back to the doctor or something. And that degraded on me to such a degree that when both of these injuries, when they hit me in the same day, the morning after I hurt my pooter, I actually came to tears. And I was like, I had the fear of death in me for a moment.
Yes.
I had the fear of death.
Never felt it.
I just was like, my asshole, everything about my asshole hurts so much. And it's like, you don't want that to hurt.
There's a "that's what she said" joke there, but I'm not going to do it.
You know, I just
That's
makes
what she said.
It
'Cause I
makes
just did
thank you.
it in a
Thanks for
subtle
doing
way.
it. Makes me just be so fucking grateful when my asshole works. Just whatever the wind is, or
It's the little
however-
things in life.
Yeah, like whatever. How late was that? Does your asshole hurt when you shit? Nope. Fucking, you're great, man. You're great.
You know, as I get older, it is those little things that are the greatest. Like I could see myself at like 90. Just, I mean, food is like it's one of the greatest fucking pleasures in life. And
Absolutely.
and like you said, going to the bathroom.
Yep.
Take it for granted. You do it every day.
Take it for granted.
But when you really are in the moment, you're like, wow, this feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Cool.
yeah. So the cycling didn't hurt my foot. It doesn't hurt my foot. I'm not using those muscles on the bike, but running hurts like a motherfucker. I totally can't jog at all.
Huh.
So I gotta get on the
Fucked.
bike. Yeah. I get to get
You
on the
need-
bike now.
Well, you need one of those Stairmaster bike combos. You know those things?
They're-
Where you're
yeah,
standing
they're-
up doing the
yeah.
Stairmaster, and
But it wheels and
you look like a super dork.
Yeah.
But
it's very embarrassing. It's an embarrassing appearance. Okay, so final check-in
Yeah.
part is that you remember that thing that was wrong with my eye before?
You need to fill me in. As I don't know
Yeah.
anything about what's wrong with your eye.
So a couple months ago, I got this rainbow darkened circle in the middle of the view of my left eye.
Right.
Like
It's
the
back.
halo, like around your
Uh-huh.
vision. Okay.
I went to the eye doctor, and they did all the tests, and they're like, you have too much stress in your life.
That's what they said last time, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, well, that's the only time I went to the doctor. It's come
Oh,
back
okay.
yesterday.
Too much
Okay.
stress.
Too much stress. I realized with the injury, not being able to exercise, and like owning a business, and then I wasn't doing any self-care. It wasn't happening.
Maybe you should have sex with your wife.
Trust me, I do.
Can I just ask one more thing? You see what? What's
What?
wrong with you? I just want to see her one more time. You
So
see what
I
with your
in my
eye?
left,
Sees
if I
dead
go like
people.
this with my left eye open, looking at especially if I look like something dark, it's easier to see.
Okay.
There's a very faint circular rainbow in the middle of my vision,
Okay.
and it's caused by what's that
Stress.
hormone in the stomach? It's that
melatonin?
No, it's
Bile?
cortisol.
Cortisol. Okay.
Is that it? The
That's
stress
I
hormone.
think that
'Cause
sounds right.
That's like what's in my eye.
It kind of also
Huh.
sounds like an optical migraine. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I have those.
Okay.
I've heard. Well, what I have is I get like this jagged, like a light bulb filament, like a jagged line.
Yeah, yeah.
And it slowly expands and then dissipates at the
Okay.
periphery.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
those
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I heard it was my mom was like, "Oh, that's an aura headache or
Yeah.
optical headache." But I think I've also heard that it's a blood clot.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe you know
let
more
me-
about this than I do.
So I had to switch the birth control I was on. I used to be on the NuvaRing. Shout out NuvaRing.
Yeah.
You're great. But so I went to Planned Parenthood and they're like, they're asking me if you see orbs. And I'm like, yeah, all the time. Like every time I'm in the sunlight, I see some like weird little like I call it looks like DNA.
Every time I go to
Like
Burning
a little
Man,
Yeah.
like a strand of DNA in my vision
Sure.
like, all the time. Now I've worn glasses since I was in the second grade. Like my vision is.
Would you a little
Weird
closer to
shit.
the mic here? I want to hear you.
Just
everyone
right
wants
up
to
on
hear you
that.
a little bit. Get
There's
all the way
weird
up on there.
But,
Thank
okay.
you.
So my vision, there's always been weird stuff going on with my vision since I was a young kid. So then they're like, well, we have to change your birth control. We have to give you the implant or the IUD.
Mm.
And I'm like, what? No. And so I ended up getting the implant
What's the
in my arm.
implant?
It's like the implant in your arm. It's just hormones. It's a low dose hormone, and it's good for 4 years.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Hormone from the arm.
So the cool thing about it was that I was like, well, Obama just got elected. So this was the day after the election. So everyone was in this like alternate reality, like we're all ready for the joke to be over. Kind of like, just kidding. But so then I was like, Obama's in office. I can't afford to come to get condoms every time I need condoms. So I was like, fuck it, give me the implant. You know, of course I still use condoms every time I use condoms, but I didn't want to have to worry about my NuvaRings. You know, it's only good for 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
You can leave it in for another 4th week and then just kind of wait for the surprise of your period. But I don't suggest that. You want it to be like clockwork.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that caused your eye to see stuff? You saw like...
So I've always seen the orbs, and they're like, oh, well, that leaves you at a higher risk for blood clots. So you have to switch. I couldn't take pills. I couldn't do the NuvaRing. I couldn't do... There's some other options in there, but they're like, I couldn't do any of that because that would put me at a high risk for blood clots, and they run in my family. So, getting back to your, I also went to an eye doctor one time, and I described, like, I also see, like, a dark spot in my vision on my left side, same left side. And she says it's an optical migraine, and I don't feel pain or anything.
You don't feel a headache.
I don't feel anything. I'm just like, God, when is this going to go away? Like, it's hard to read. It's like
It's a little bit harder to read.
It's kind of like you remember in Disney when they would have like a little dot over like
a
sing-along?
A bouncing ball, yeah.
It was like that. It's like a bouncy ball, so you kind of have to look a little bit above the line you're reading.
Yeah,
I
that's what happens to me too.
about.
I don't get the black dot, but I do get the shimmery dissipation.
All right. Well, let me just say there's I have actually other news too.
Yeah.
For the check-in.
We're still on your check-in.
Yeah.
When you're checking,
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's tangents are that's part of it. So,
Yeah.
other news. I brewed cool beer last night, and I'm excited about that. That's going to be a fun, like, darker blonde ale, a little extra hop. It's going to be pretty good. Pretty excited about that. And then the biggest news of all.
I wish I had a bum bum bum.
Yeah, we need some sound effect. Ready?
You got one?
No, I need one. I need it from you.
Dun
There we
dun
go.
dun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I am going to be a father.
Woohoo!
It is official.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yes. Thank you.
Does Rebecca know?
She knows. She knows. The very first we did it what do you call so you look inside the tummy with lights.
Ultrasound?
Ultrasound. This one was internal. She didn't know that until it was like 1 inch from her,
Oh.
She thought she was going to hold something with
Yeah.
the belly. No, it went all the way in there.
Oh, yeah. Those are the ones that every pregnant woman says, I don't want that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no.
Why do
It
they have
was-
to do that one just because it's so early?
It looks
So
like a dildo.
early.
It looks like
So
a
early.
large dildo.
it
with
is.
a
It's
thingy.
basically a light dildo.
How long has it been since you've known?
I have known a couple of weeks now.
Okay.
And I've told all close family and friends and stuff like that. And I'm sort of like slowly telling the rest of the world.
Slowly boosting your post.
I didn't Facebook it yet. I'm not. I don't know. I don't think. Maybe I won't till later or something. And it's not really. I don't know. It's not the place for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like not a clean place. But
It's
so
a filthy hole. That's what it is.
yeah. So I'm all the feelings around that. But I think I just want to drop that bomb, hit the ding on my check-in, and then go into you and let you check in. Say like, what are you feeling? What's going on with you? What's up?
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
best wishes.
Yeah.
And
I look forward to you
let me
meeting
know-
Rebecca.
I look forward to meeting Rebecca as well. That's your
That's my wife.
Okay, I'm about to say, is that your future child? We're already for sure it's a girl.
No, we don't know yet. We have a girl name picked out if it is a girl.
Wonderful. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet your wife, and I'm excited to see how this all plays out. So I'm
Nice,
very
cool.
excited for you guys.
Excited. The cycle
Well,
of life.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm Ashley Tomajan from Oklahoma. I live in Crockett.
Good move.
I used to be an educator. I'm not doing that right now. I may do that in the future. I don't know. We'll see after this podcast and after the background check, guys.
Right. Cool. That's cool.
I just want to say this about being a teacher. I'm surprised that they let me be a teacher. I'm surprised that they were like, yeah, you're good to go. And then I'm surprised I was a teacher for as long as I was.
Really?
I was a substitute teacher. I'll just put that out there for 4.5, almost 5 years in the
Okay.
West Contra Costa area. A wonderful place to work. Wonderful place to work. Wonderful district to work at.
Fantastic.
And that's
Cool.
all I'm going to say, but I'm smiling.
How about your check-in? Like, how's it going
My
today?
check-in
Yeah.
Past
today.
few
In your
days.
yeah,
Today,
month-ish.
okay.
Like sort of recent
My-
history.
Okay, I'm having issues with my internet here in Crockett, or it's just my inability to figure out the gnomes inside the computer that make the internet work.
Yes.
You were kind enough to help me with that. Hopefully it'll work.
How does it feel to have your internet be messed up?
Have you ever like tied your left hand behind your back, even though you're right-handed, and realized like you still need it? It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It's funny, there was a time when we didn't have it, so we didn't know that we didn't need it.
Yeah.
Now we definitely do need
Now we need it.
So,
Digital water.
and mind you, I have a laptop, a MacBook that is a 2010, and that has been my go-to. Like I've been living on like. It's ancient. It goes. It's a
It's fine.
dinosaur.
You know, as long as it works. I mean, it's
Yeah.
in good working condition. I
Yeah,
have one
it
that's
is.
very similar to the one you have, and it's a complete piece of shit.
So
Yeah,
I
yours
Broke
is
and
on our. We have one
decayed.
too, and it died also.
Blew up.
So continuing with my check-in, I'm going to be going up to Fruitvale, up to a shout out to Bigfoot Electronics on MacArthur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
They
Cool.
are fixing. They fixed my computer. It's ready. It's $300, which I can afford.
Nice.
But this is my another gift from my sister. My sister Katie, Catherine. Sorry, Catherine is her name, not Katie.
Katie, I
way
can't
off
believe
on
she
that.
just said that.
Catherine, she gave me her other MacBook Air, so it's like what this right here. It looks just like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
My little pro here.
yeah, so I'm excited to get that from Bigfoot. I'm going to get that, and then I'll have another laptop that can hopefully just match the internet.
What do you do on the
easily.
laptop?
Yeah.
Like, what's your game?
My game.
Or what do you spend time doing on your laptop?
Okay, my game it's like Taipei. It's like a Taipei game, and then I like the one where I don't know what the fuck it's called, where like you match the little circle. It's kind of like the plumber game. Like you put the pipes in, and then you look
Pipe
the water.
dream.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that, but it's little swirlies and little stuff like that. I'm into puzzle games
Ah.
and like the highlights. You remember those games like highlights?
Do you know highlights?
The magazine?
The
Your
magazine.
brother's
Yeah, yeah.
screaming right
games
now.
like those.
Yeah.
What do we call those? Search and find, search. The hidden
Search and find?
objects, the hidden objects games.
Oh, yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
Those are my things. I'm really
Okay,
into those.
right on. That's cool. Right on. Well, let me ask. So you said you were from Oshmannigan, Wisconsin?
No,
Okay.
no, from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City.
I'm from.
I've been there actually many times.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Can you? I want to hear a little bit of your story about you arriving into Crockett. How did you arrive at Crockett?
I moved here with an ex-boyfriend, and that
Currently,
lasted-
was he an ex when you moved with him?
No, we were together at the time.
Hey, you want to break up before we get on this flight?
Yeah,
Sure.
right. So he had moved out by 2016. Shit didn't work out, and so let's see. I came to Crockett then. In 2015, he and I moved in together, and then he moved out. I moved to California.
Where'd you meet him?
Plenty
Oklahoma
of
City.
Fish. I met him on Plenty of Fish.
In Oklahoma City.
No, I met him in Hercules
Okay,
at a Starbucks.
from Plenty of Fish, and
From
you
Plenty
moved
of
out
Fish.
here for him. Is this-
No, God, no. Hang on, back up.
I'm just trying to
Back up,
understand the
Just
story.
trying
so
to get the
it's straight.
timeline here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in Oklahoma.
Okay, I was born and raised in Oklahoma, military brat. My father was in the Air Force. My mother was a nurse. My mother was the American Nurses Association president until about 2008. My mother is queen of the nurses. She won't say that. She doesn't like that term, but that's what I dubbed her.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So, Oklahoma until what year?
2012. My mother got a job at John Muir, where she was like
Ah,
running.
okay.
My mom was very well known at John Muir. She retired in 2016. And my dad is very churchy. He was a bookkeeper for 7 Catholic churches in Oklahoma, and now he kind of is really involved in the Knights of Columbus. So I moved here after I graduated from college in 2011. My mom had already been here for about a year, and my dad was like selling the house, and my oldest sister was selling her house, and we were all moving out here. my middle sister was already living in the Bay Area. So my parents are from Fresno, so they were Californian and then moved to Oklahoma, raised their family, raised a bunch of Okies, and then now we're living in California. It's very much a Steinbeck Okies moving into California kind of story.
Hell yeah. All right. Cool.
And now you're in Crockett.
And now I'm in Crockett.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is a beautiful, it feels like Oklahoma here sometimes, depending on the night you go into its tavern.
You don't sound like you lived in Oklahoma a lot.
It comes out. I say y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I say y'all. And the drawl comes out if there's a country song on, you can hear it once in a while. See, my parents worked very hard to make sure that I did not have a draw. My parents...
Really?
Yes, yes.
Why?
Well, my parents wanted us to sound...
Can you pull it out? Can you give it... I mean, I'm not doing
No,
it
y'all
right.
don't understand. A Southern girl does not show up empty-handed now.
Is that the Okie sound?
That's like the Okie, yeah.
You know, God bless America.
Yeah.
All the different
It
dialects.
is. I love
If
it.
I'm
accents
around-
and
If I'm like around people that have the accent, I'll pick it up. I pick up accents, and it's not genuine at all. Like it starts making, and then I can't stop.
yeah, I do that too. Like with Boston
Yeah,
people.
my favorite one is doing an Irish accent. I
Oh,
annoy.
you like to do the Irish, do you?
I do like the Irish.
What do you like to do? It's a bit, it's a breath here, and you've got to have
See?
your certain tones in a few ways, and you can
You guys-
conform your sentences.
You guys would fit right in Boston.
Oh, I could do the Irish accent pretty well. I've practiced weirdly for strange reasons. Continue.
You can't turn a corner without seeing a shamrock.
I'm
good for now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't say that the dog was Catholic, did you?
Some good crack.
That's my favorite Irish joke ever. So, I love living in Crockett. It's my favorite place to live, I have to say. I haven't lived a
Nice.
lot of places, okay? But I'm from Moore, Oklahoma, actually. I went to Westmore.
Okay.
And the history with Westmore was the May 3rd tornado hit, and my sister Catherine was in Westmore when it hit. And everybody that's like a millennial has a May 3rd story. It's kind of like JFK. Like everyone, like, where were you? Were you on the highway? Were you on I-35? Like 32.
It's like the
died.
Oklahoma's
Whoa.
9/11.
Well, no, our 9/11 is actually the Murrah building bombing.
Oh, right.
Which
Right.
happened when I was in the 3rd grade. Yeah.
Fuck,
So I
that's
grew
right.
up with a very strange time.
Explosions
in
and
Oklahoma.
shit.
And then, the term going postal is from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
There's, I have to say this. I think whenever you exit, like the Trail of Tears and, like the Native Americans, like it's kind of cursed land in a way. And
You feel it?
when you're on the in the ghetto parts of Oklahoma and you see shit boarded up, you do.
Yeah.
You feel the hopelessness in Oklahoma. There is parts of it that does feel that way. So that's interesting.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. But
wow.
the Oklahoma strong. Like it is some of the nicest people, some of the most courteous drivers. Some of the most accidents happen in Oklahoma from people like, no, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. Like, just like, and then you got someone going through like, y'all need to make a decision because I'm leaving. Like,
Okay. All right.
it's one of those situations. Yeah.
What as a child in Oklahoma, what did you love? What were you good at?
What was I good at?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was the weird kid. I did not like hunting. I did not like football.
Huh.
I was good at annoying the shit out of my teachers and correcting their history because Oklahoma was very anti-Catholic. I feel like where I was raised to think it was anti-Catholic. And I had a lot of I was really good at defending my religion. That's what I was really good at. I had little girls come up to me. Are you saved by Jesus? I go to mass every Sunday, and like, did you recognize Jesus as your savior? I go to church every Sunday. I don't know how else to answer this question. Like have I taken?
Just say
sacraments?
yes.
I'm 5. Have you been to confession? So then like there's rituals that I've been exposed to that they haven't, and then it's like you're like the exorcist. You're gonna go to hell, and it's just kind of like.
Whoa.
The thing about Oklahoma is if you have a different way of thinking, they want to convert you.
Right.
Like here, there's this niceness of like, I don't agree with you, but I want to hear your point of view. And I'll let you speak until you're done. And then if you feel like hearing mine, that's great. If not, we can, there's like a politeness of exchange of ideas.
Wait, you're in California?
Yes. Here,
okay, just making sure.
Here. No, I'm not saying everybody in California is like, there's some assholes you just can't talk to about anything.
But there's more
no matter
of
where
the
you
listeners
go.
here, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, agreed. There are more listeners here.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right on. So
Yeah,
Crockett's... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I lived in Boston, I was in Mass every day.
Big
Mass,
arrow.
Now, were you there for the free wine or?
I just meant Massachusetts.
Oh, Mass.
That was the badoomch.
Yeah.
That was the silent
I think we
ba-dum-bum.
need the sound. Right.
I was hoping the audience could figure that one out.
They
That
did.
was
I'm
ba-dum-bum.
sure they did.
What were you going to say?
So I saw you at an open mic doing two really cool things, and I was really impressed. And I remember one of the things was telling funny jokes, and the other thing was singing crazy technical opera.
Thank you very much. Yes, I did do those things.
When did your comedy career start?
I feel like my comedy career started as being the youngest in my family and just kind of making strange observations.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to be a comedian ever since I was a little kid. Since I've been obsessed with Bette Midler and her little bits.
Okay.
Yeah. What the material came from was really being a substitute teacher, and
you have like kid jokes?
I don't.
No, not for kids.
Not
no,
kid.
not kids. Not jokes for kids. I mean jokes about kids, where kids are the butt of the joke. Do you have those types of jokes?
Sure. You want to hear one? I think there's the one you're trying to get at. Okay. So and you guys are okay, wait. About teacher as a teacher joke, because I just have funny stories. I don't have jokes per se.
I'm just curious about a time when a kid sucked.
Well, that's most of the time. I tend to.
Hello. Mic check. Hello.
Need to talk to priest for that.
Come on. Are we good?
Check.
Check test. Thank you.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, I've had a student ring a bell at me because she needed help with something. I've had.
Did she have like a private bell that she carried around?
It was attached to like her keychain, and she took it off. Like she started ringing, and then she took it off, and then she was like, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." Miss.
Wow.
She was snapping at me.
So obnoxious.
Yeah, and so like 20 minutes after she did all that, the principal walked in, and he's like, "How's it going?" And I was like, "Well, this young lady here is ringing a bell at me, expecting me to help her with algebra. Now, I'm not the best at algebra, but I'm not going to help anyone that rings bells at me." And then I was like, and I just want to say, if I did this to anybody here at this school, it would be racist. And he just kind of was like, "That's right. You're right. It would be." And I was just like, I'm not trying to throw that out there, but I just feel a certain kind of way about it. Like, I would never expect anyone to help me with anything and ring a bell at them. Unless you're at a counter. Unless you're at a counter and it says, "Please ring bell for help."
Right. Unless there's a sign that says ring this bell. If you see a big bell.
Unless you're in a bell store.
Right.
And there's a mariachi who's the salesperson.
Exactly.
So there's all kinds of bells going on.
And you walk into a monastery, there's a big bell, hit that thing.
Yeah.
Also, when you go to Burning Man, there's a giant bell, hit that fucking bell.
Is there always a giant bell?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I've never been to Burning Man, so.
Well,
Quite an
I
experience.
strongly suggest you go at least once.
Okay. It's up there with the Rainbow Gathering. You've heard of that?
Right.
And there's like I heard there's a Burning Man Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a smaller.
Ooh.
They're all over the world.
It's almost like you can go back in time to a version of Burning Man that's smaller.
in other
depending
parts.
on where you
yeah.
go.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to be digital and all that shit.
Right.
but
Right. True.
Just in terms of the size.
But the size, though, it's 70,000 or almost 80,000 people now.
Wow.
yeah, I've heard the Israel one is pretty cool because it's
That
smaller.
sounds. Well, just that, but you're probably next to some ruins. Like, how amazing would that be?
That would be
projecting?
cool.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to be in like some kind of feature-rich environment, or even just a plain.
I want to see that
Grass.
Indiana Jones.
Which one?
That Indiana Jones.
Where he goes to Burning Man?
Where he goes to Burning Man.
That'd be awesome.
I
He's like
that.
stealing relics from other people's camps.
He gets like wasted too. He would totally get
Yeah.
wasted and like confused and get on an art car and he like
But
puts on a
then-
weird outfit and then they
But
spray
the best
paint
part
him.
about
Yeah.
it would be, guys, that it's the Israelis that are going to be like the like the ones that are like trying to shut down the Burning Man, and no, you cannot like dance next to these ruins, and no, you cannot take a rock home with you. Like,
Yeah. You just got to find a space where people are okay with it. That's why when it happens in Nevada, they rent this whole lake bed.
yeah, it's awesome.
And then
Yeah.
you got some space, you know.
It's pretty crazy. It's hard to describe because there's so much stimulation
Wow.
Yes.
in an environment where there's absolutely zero stimulation. It's just there's
It's a-
just nothing around for miles,
There's, like,
and
there
then
isn't
suddenly
rocks.
there's just tons of people there.
It's a desert.
Yeah, it's
It's dust. There's no sand. It's just dust.
dust.
And if it gets wet, it immediately becomes a slip and slide.
Really?
Uh-huh. So you
Hmm.
can't pour water on the ground.
I've never partied in the desert like that.
It's crazy
It's
awesome.
crazy.
Wow.
House music never stops. It stops for maybe a couple hours.
Maybe. At certain
You
districts.
both are kind of looking really exhausted thinking about it right now. Like you're
There's a
It is
lot
hard
of
work.
It occupies a lot of
never
mental
stops.
space
It-
bet.
to
yeah.
think about it,
You're tripping the whole time you're there.
even if you're completely sober.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
if you're totally sober. Like you run into people that you're like, I was supposed to meet you.
Yeah. It sounds like a very spiritual experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Okay. So
How did
Right
we
on.
get on that?
I don't know. We were talking
Talked
about
about substitute teaching.
Substitute teaching.
yeah. So you were teaching kids and then you were like, F this in the A, I gotta get the F out of here.
No, it was more like I needed to resign.
Can you talk about your resignation or,
No.
or should we
No,
okay,
we're
no,
not.
we're
We
not
need
gonna
to
talk
we
about
need
that.
to we need to go back.
So we'll just
The
skip
lawsuit's
that,
pending.
talk it right over. No problem at all. Cool.
We could pretend like there's an audio glitch. Oh, and we're
Oh,
back.
hey, welcome back to the show.
Okay, I don't know what
Hey,
happened
guys,
there,
yeah.
but
So, okay, now can you tell us a little bit about you being a singer and
Oh.
how that came into being and what that's like?
As a little kid, I was obsessed with Annie, the 1980 version with Carol Burnett.
I don't think there isn't any other
No,
version,
Carol,
is there?
No.
That's the definitive Annie fan version, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah, the one where she's hanging off of a tower, you know, with Punjab, who is racistly a black man named Punjab.
Yep.
But no, it's the best version of all. Yeah.
Racist.
There's a lot of that in those old movies, basically exclusively.
You know, Punjab was actually in The Wire. He was one of the guys that did the autopsies.
Huh.
He was the one that that did the autopsies for the girls in the cans.
From Annie?
Yeah, Punjab was a mortician on The Wire.
That's weird.
Same guy.
I've
yeah.
never seen an episode of The Wire.
Seems versatile. He can do.
Did you just
He
hear
can do
my
anything.
heart break? Okay.
I heard a wave. I heard one of those.
So, I just want to say this about The Wire
Tell us
and the
about The Wire,
writers
yeah.
is that it is American literature
Uh-huh.
that is it talks about education, it talks about class system, it talks about drugs and the bullshit war on drugs, and because the point is wars end. We have been on a fight with drugs since Nixon.
Stupidly.
Stupidly, because the point is
Yeah.
it's not a war, it is a way to make money off of people and off of corrupt systems.
And a way to medicate.
And
Depending.
a way to medicate.
It's
And not just that, but
Well,
when in the 1970s, whenever they're building all of these jails that were empty, what came about as social hip hop came about, and then gangster rap came about, and then all of a sudden crack came about, and that all came about to fill the jails. Americans and people are not innately like it's just, we're gonna get into some stuff like, why are the schools in the ghetto built like prisons? If you've ever been in Richmond High School, if you've ever been at Hercules High School, if you've ever been in any of these places, you can. It's like, are they keeping people out or keeping people in? Because I can't tell the difference.
Huh. This is
Helms Middle School, like they can gate off different sections, and it's like, is this a FEMA camp waiting to be used,
Yeah.
or is this an education place? Because it doesn't feel like that to me. Like you can, And then when
You
you
need to
go
call up Alex Jones. Is he there?
No.
Alex.
But no, it's not about Alex Jones. It's the point of that. Architects take an oath of we're going to make buildings that create good things, just like doctors take the Hippocratic oath, do no harm. But they're not keeping true to that oath, and that's all I'll really say. But
Well, I mean, it could be that the neighborhood has high crime, and therefore they design the building around that,
right,
rather
right.
than some sort of systemic racism garbage.
Okay, true.
Could be reversed.
Could be
Or-
reversed.
Or it could be a little bit of both.
Could be a little bit of
it
both.
could be like a high expectation of difficulty from
Yeah.
students because they're from that area, which might be kind of not the right direction
But
to
if
think.
you're told you're bad, how are you going to behave?
Yeah.
Badly.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
And I'm
in
trying to,
those
okay, my
areas, yeah.
pragmatic mind goes, okay,
Well,
what
that's-
else could it be useful for? Maybe it would be useful to have a FEMA camp there. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
well,
In an emergency.
but at the end of the day, as long as I'm not the one in there, right?
Of course not,
And you
right?
can't. And who's going to guarantee that I'm not the one in there?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. Well, here's my perspective on drugs, and I've talked about it before on the show. Is they should all be legal,
Yeah.
and the government should stay the fuck out of it. And I'm talking about heroin, meth, pretty much every drug.
Would you have a few exceptions?
No.
It should be about treatment. It shouldn't be about incarceration.
If I'm 90 years old and I'm just kind of not there, I can't walk and shit, give me some ecstasy. Give me
Yeah.
some LSD. Let me trip balls. Let me, like, experience the landscape of my mind and walk around in there.
Yeah.
And if I can't walk around in the real world. So, that's my perspective. Legalize it all.
Yeah, I like it.
It's the only thing you have true control over and dominion over in this life is your own body. And you should be able to do whatever you want to it.
Absolutely.
Good
agree.
and
Yeah.
bad things.
Yeah, agreed. That right seems innate.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I agree.
I agree with your statement. Nice. Well said.
Yeah.
All right.
But The Wire, we were talking about you getting into singing.
Mhm.
Then we tangent to
Yeah.
Annie,
To
So
Annie.
to
Like-
Wire.
So, okay, would it be
To prisons.
improper to... I mean, I guess I want to... You don't have to sing right now. I don't want to put you on the spot because
Yeah.
you're not warmed up. You know, it wouldn't really work. But if you wanted to, you could.
Well, I'm I'm actually fighting off a cold. But,
Oh, okay.
So
So,
no, I
can
don't
you...
wanna sing right now.
Can you... How'd you start singing? How'd that go?
So Annie, and then what?
My mom paid for me to get voice lessons when I was like in the first grade.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And I was
That's awesome.
and I like did like church choirs and stuff like that, and then just I've always just been very interested in like lessons. And let's see, Rachel Jantz was my vocal coach in high school. Shout out to her. She lives in Texas, and so she was very, very supportive. She was like, "You are an opera singer," and I was like, "Okay, well, let's see how this goes." And she let me pick operas that I like. She let me pick the story. She told me about the storylines, because for me, it's all about the storyline.
Cool.
Like,
Okay.
Right.
Ah,
once I
that's
connected with
interesting.
the storylines, you know, it made like I fell in love with the drama of it all. You know, that's all music is, just expressing emotion. And then I was in choir. I went to Westmore. Miss Dawson was our choir director. I wonder if she's still around. She's a great woman. I never made it into chamber choir at all. Any year in
Did
high
you try
school.
out?
Yeah, every year I tried out. She liked tiny voices or like blendable voices. My voice is a very big, drown out everybody kind of voice. Like I got a very big, booming kind of like Judy Garland. Yeah, but I hate to talk about my voice and not be able to. Hopefully, I can come back sometime and we can do a little singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been.
We
fighting.
often have an after show of music, but
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I did bring my harmonica.
Huh.
Can do a little something with that.
you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, I did study opera in community college. I had Miss Weitzel and Mr. Weitzel. They actually taught my sister, and Mr. Weitzel taught English class for my sister, and my dad called him Mr. Turtle Wax. So he happened to teach piano at the community college, and then she taught me opera, and she would not let me do Broadway. She was like, "No Broadway, no." She's like, "You are an opera singer," and I'm like, all right, fine. So muscle through more opera.
What's with all the negativity?
I think it's more like
It's so like
she wanted to
cliquish.
shape. I think it was more like she just saw something to shape, you know? And so,
She saw the singing career she could have had.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bummer. Well, you must have had great skill to show.
Oh, yeah. And I love performing, and it's very much something, unfortunately, it's usually something I like to turn on. Like, I would sing for my students. Like, that would be a little ploy. I'd be like, I'll sing opera for you guys if you just, or sing whatever, just to, entertain you for like 5 minutes and before the bell rings or whatever. So that's kind of what got me in trouble.
You get in trouble?
What, was it the sound check?
I want to hear. See, that's what I want to hear about.
Involuntary resignation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to hear about.
I was trending on Twitter, singing opera. That's what happened. And I still haven't seen the video either. Though.
What video?
There's a video of me singing opera at Pinole High School. And it was trending on Twitter. And my student was like, I saw this video back in November, and there was like 800 views.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. I wish I could see that. Like, I wish I could see it. And
Too bad
Sure.
about your internet.
well, guys, it's ms.applejacks36. Guys, send it to me. Let me know.
Okay.
ms.applejacks.
ms.applejacks36.
36.
That's my Instagram and my
So
Twitter.
you've never seen the video?
A student showed it to me, and then he like did something, and then it disappeared again. It was.
And you
like,
never found it?
I never found it personally. No.
Huh.
I'm wearing a unicorn shirt, and I've got striped sleeves, and yeah.
Have you searched for it, like with those
Yes.
keywords?
I have no, not those keywords. I have searched teacher substitute singing opera. Like I've done opera. I don't know. I've looked up a lot of things.
Huh.
It's one of those things where you're like, if I don't get it the first time, I'm done. Like
Okay. Interesting.
That was like
so
piloting for me.
So I kind of just I graduated from Oklahoma City Community College, and then I went to the University of Central Oklahoma, and then I kind of switched gears from music to art, and that's when I became like a painter and a printmaker, and that's what I have my degree in. And then I graduated, and I'm here in California. I worked at a gelato factory in Hercules, Gelateria Naya, for about a year, and then
You like gelato?
I did.
Yeah.
I like sorbet. Yeah, they're a great company.
Cool.
They're a great company. They produce good food, good gelato. And then I took some time, and then I started substituting, and I was like, again, I was surprised they let me be a substitute. Like you just have to have a bachelor's degree and a clean record. And I was like, really? My record's clean? All right. I was surprised.
Really?
Clean-ish.
Well, no. I mean, must be no kind of outstanding felonies. I mean.
No. Taken no.
Well, then
no
you're
felonies.
fine.
No felonies.
No outstanding felonies. No. What's that disease they test every teacher for?
What do you call
Tuberculosis.
Yes.
tuberculosis?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what do you call a group of cowboys? What do you call the leg joints of a group of cowboys? Felonies.
I was gonna say knee-haw.
Knee-haw.
Terrible. Oh, I like that.
Knee-haw might be a better punchline.
Yeehaw.
I love a good pun. Is it a pun or a joke? That's a joke.
I
That
guess
was a
it's
pun.
a joke, but it's a pun. Jean.
It was a Jean. Yeah,
Punch.
Thank you. It was
Jean.
Pudge.
poke.
Punge. Poke.
That's what it was.
So, that's cool. Singing, printmaking. Do you do like what kind of printmaking? Fabrics?
No, like on paper.
Woodcut kind of
No,
things?
silk screen.
Silk screening.
Silk screen. Yeah, I do a lot of skeletons. I have a series called Moments Eternal. It's on my Facebook. My artist Facebook page is Ashley Jane Tomajan. Yeah, so I've let a lot of that. I have done a large screen print of like Alamo Square and like the painted ladies and like downtown. I'm trying to put that one into a gallery. And I also have some acrylic paints that are up at paintings that are up at Taqueria Sanchez in Pinole. You guys ever been there?
Huh. I haven't been there.
Oh, I need to take you guys there sometime. They got really good carne asada fries.
Oh, that sounds great.
And they
Sounds
have
muy
California
bueno.
burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. Are they they import those?
No, they're all made here. And they got Taco Tuesdays too. They got
That's
really
a
good
thing.
special.
That's
yeah.
a thing around here. Taco
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, we gotta put a link to Taqueria Sanchez here at the end of the show.
Taqueria
Okay.
Sanchez.
Yeah, guys.
Shout out to Taqueria Sanchez in Pinole.
It's off of Fernandez. You guys know where the little park is?
I've eaten Pinole like twice since I
Okay,
moved
you
here.
know where the Pear Street Bistro is?
Uh-huh.
It's like across that little where there's a park across the way,
Mhm.
and it's right in the corner next to the park.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. So, have you
What?
have you been in a band?
I've never been in a band. No. I've done theater. I was in the Pajama Game, and I was in Music Man and Lucky Stiff.
Where's all these?
This was in high school.
Uh-huh.
And this was also at the University of Oklahoma City University. I did like a nerdy theater camp, and we put them together, and we were really hardcore. We were really hardcore about our productions. It was
Right
a
on.
good time. Yeah.
So, would you say it would be appropriate to assign you a title like theater nerd or
Yes.
something like that?
I'm definitely a theater nerd for
Okay.
sure.
Right on. So, do you intake theater much now?
Well, last year I took my sisters and my cousin to go see American Idiot in El Cerrito. That was awesome. They did a great job. It was awesome. I'm a huge fan of Green Day
Okay.
and like modern, like Rent and like rock operas. I'm really big into that. I haven't been in a theater in a while. That's something I really like to get back into, is to like acting and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Did you see the Jesus Christ Superstar thing that recently was done?
At El Cerrito, where?
No, it was like on the internet.
Oh, no.
It was done by like a large production company. I forget who it was. It was pretty entertaining. They were talented,
No, I didn't see
bouncy
that.
bunch.
I didn't see that, but I have seen Jesus Christ Superstar.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I did. I did like it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Do you like Meatloaf by chance?
Yes, love Meatloaf. I am a huge Meatloaf fan. Y'all don't understand.
Oh my gosh,
I like
Rebecca.
me
I
some
think we
Meatloaf.
understand.
Yeah.
Rebecca's a big
that
fan.
Rebecca. It's funny. Those are all crossover.
Okay,
for
well,
her.
she and I have to do. I will do anything for love.
Uh-huh.
We have to do the
Yeah.
duets.
Well, she's been flirting with like, let's just start a Meatloaf cover band of awesome singers.
Huh.
That's what she's been talking about.
Me and her need to. I think we're soulmates.
And you haven't even met yet.
I know. Well, I'm excited to meet Rebecca. I hope she isn't like, girl, it's too much too soon.
She's good. She's great. Yeah. All right. I think let's hear a word from our sponsor, and then I have a topic for us
Yes.
to explore.
It's here for the people that pay the bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this episode is brought to you by Final Corp. And they are a company who is intergalactically operating. They have many exciting. I'm so excited for their products.
I mean, they're the products you
even-
need, whether you want them or not.
You can clearly hear it in my voice. I'm very excited. Let me call up the...
Final Corp. 50 years of experience. 50,000 flavors of mayonnaise. No compromises. No refunds. No integrity. Final Corp. It will be fine. Please help us slide mayonnaise onto food.
Thanks, Final Corp.
Wow. Yeah, so that was another cheery message
That
they
was,
sent us from
that
the
was Palmer
corporate
Eldridge
office there.
from Final Corp.
Oh, that's not the Speak and Spell from Japan in
And-
1980 circa?
It could be.
Well, I mean,
That guy's been around. He's been doing work for a long time.
Final Corp does what they want, you know.
Final Corp is a purveyor of such fine products as purchasable money, make your own mayonnaise kit. We have downloadable suffering, Microsoft Coffee.
That one's kind of weird. But,
That one's kind of weird,
it's,
but it helps with the digital hangovers.
yeah.
We have the Shouting Address Book. Scentmate, which I think was something you came up with.
Yeah.
Plastic mayonnaise chute, which helps us to slide mayonnaise onto food. Which
Yeah,
is
I
one
get
of
the extra large nozzle on my plastic mayonnaise chute because I don't want to mess around with a high pressure stream. I want a long, slow,
Yes.
wide berth of creamy mayonnaise sliding onto food.
I hear
get
that.
me one of those.
They also have the Easy Lose wallet or purse. Very hard to find. Voice-activated condiments.
What?
Noise amplifying headphones. Very useful.
Yes.
Very useful.
Amplifying.
And salmonaise is their most recent flavor of mayonnaise.
Oh my god.
It's a nice.
Mayonnaise. Yeah.
It's an artificially flavored lox substitute flavored mayonnaise. Yeah. So
wow.
Final Corp. Check them out. Thanks
Yeah.
for supporting the show. Final Corp,
yeah.
as always.
Final Corp. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Okay. I'm gonna take a pee.
Okay.
Why don't you guys chat and talk
Sure.
about a topic?
And
when
then
we get back.
we'll get started on the topic.
The topic.
So, here we're all gonna look at this. See if I can. No,
I
I'm
just
good.
have a question. What has happened in the world in the past week or so? See, I don't have cable, and I intentionally don't look on YouTube about what Trump is doing.
Let's take a moment to talk about that. What's going on with our president, baby daddy or dad baby?
Okay.
He's
This is the son-in-law yet? Or
no.
his son.
I mean that to me he appears to be like a baby man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like he's big and manly, but some of his emotional choices are very, very childlike.
Yeah.
And so the new thing is maybe he's going to go to jail, because...
Oh, that thing's actually got some traction
well,
now?
it's just more people are talking about it.
Okay. Are we attacking Syria?
I don't know.
Okay. If we are, it's not obviously headlining for the rest of the
Well,
world.
I'm not... I look a little bit about what's going on, but I watch... It's like, I try to measure how much I consume.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not too much,
The more I hear about Trump, I'm sorry, guys. Like, it's theater. This is all a joke. It
Yeah.
has to be a joke.
It's
It has
planned.
to be.
It's
Yeah.
too much like we're getting close to a season finale.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, with this whole wall thing, I just want to. I've been saying it since the beginning. It's not about keeping anybody out. It's about keeping us in. They don't want us to leave. That's what the wall thing is about. And I have been like, see, I'm from Oklahoma, and that was the most Trump state.
Well, let me throw a conspiracy at you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I have something that the evidence I have for it is based on several conversations I've seen in different podcasts. I haven't
Alright.
actually done any hardcore research,
Okay.
but I have a thing, and that is that all of the recent shooters were on some type of pharmaceutical psychiatric drug. All of them.
I agree with you 100%, and I'm at the point in my research and my feeling like I'm seeing. Let me just put it this way: I think most of these shooters are either people that have been messed with by the CIA or gang stalking or something like that, and they are on pharmaceuticals, and they were programmed to do what they've done.
Like by ill-meaning groups.
Manchurian candidates?
Yeah, Manchurian candidates, so to speak. Like the guy that said that the Uber app was talking to him and it made him kill. I honestly think,
I haven't heard that.
Okay, and this has just been the thing that I've been saying since about the time I moved here was like, is everybody watching the same channel and is everybody little time bomb going off in their head saying, I must kill, I must kill, I must
It's
kill.
like the naked gun
It's this
premise.
thing, guys, you understand though, I've grown up in Oklahoma circuit, like boys with guns. That's a real reality where I grew up. Going home, finding the liquor cabinet or the gun cabinet,
Sure.
they go hand in hand. Sure.
I hear that.
So at Brink in 19, I want to say it was 2000, a boy wrote in the bathroom, I'm going to blow up the school. Or he did a bomb threat, basically. I didn't see it, but they painted over it the same day. and our Principal Coyle, shout out to him, awesome guy. Looking back now, like he was a really awesome principal. Looking back at and being an educator now, he called like a fire drill, and they postponed. It was during finals week, so it was finals week right before spring break. So they ended postponing 6th period test till after spring break. They had a fire drill. The FBI came. Like, I felt super safe, and I was like, whatever fucking idiot wrote this shit on the wall. Thank you, asshole. I was ready to take this test today. You're such a jerk. Like, everyone was just mad because we were all ready to take the tests. You know?
But he wasn't, so he's, you know.
Well, it was just one of the...
He probably just didn't want to take
and
the
at
test.
And then 2 months earlier, like, during a... it was during PE, and the boys were, like, changing in the locker room, and they were having a discussion. If you came to school with a gun, who would you shoot? And there was this one boy that had never said anything in class the whole time. He rambled off people's names, and then he was like suspended. I think he might have been expelled. But it was just these things, like, you know, like this was right after Columbine. You know, like me seeing the boys being angry and being told, like, I think it's more of a call to, like, guys, young men don't have good, like, being masculine is not a good thing. Like, they were taught, you know, it's all about you respect women, you do this, you know, girls. There's a lot of stuff to build up girls. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, they were taught that don't be masculine.
Don't cry. Big, you know, men don't cry. You don't express your emotions.
Don't emote. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do all those things. So
tough guys don't cry.
All of that stuff. So I feel like that was a big thing where I grew up and at the time. And you guys are the same age as me, right? Like,
how old are
I'm
you?
32.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm 32.
Yeah,
we're millennials.
Yeah, a few
right?
years older.
He's
Okay.
a little older.
Okay, so I was 13 when Columbine happened. How old were you?
I don't know.
Because there's a statistic that no one is
15?
saying anymore. There were the same amount of school shootings before Columbine as there were
What?
after.
Right.
I'll say it again. School shootings were not an uncommon thing. It was just the first time it was publicized, televised, and it was white kids running out, not any brown or black kids.
It was happening in
the worst one was in like 1914 or something. It wasn't a shooting, but it was a guy blowing up a school.
Right.
So this has been around.
It's been around. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's been around. It's an American problem.
In my opinion, the problem is pharmaceuticals. The problem
Absolutely.
is not guns.
No, and that's the other thing I'm going to touch on about all this. All of these shooters were all on some kind of psychoactive things. And I agree with you 100%.
If you're shooting people at school, you're not mentally well.
Right.
Yeah, that's not what you do.
And I just want to touch on one other thing. And I truly believe that most psychiatrists have good intentions. But it's prescribe first, ask questions later.
Oh, yeah.
And I know this firsthand, you know, and
it's like an auto mechanic.
Yeah,
Better off just figure out how to fix your own car because they're going to be... you don't know what they're doing.
So, and I think that's most of the problem because, guys, the psychoactive side effects, we don't even know.
Yeah.
We're like 10, 20 years from... We don't even know what it's doing to us in the future. Yeah.
It just seems like a common thing. I mean, it's taken the writer David Foster Wallace from us, which is a shame. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he was just, you know, a up-and-coming bright star on the literary scene. And then he got off his antidepressants, and
Yeah, go ahead.
that was it.
Wow.
Anyway,
God bless his soul.
go ahead.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. I didn't mean
It's
to
okay.
ignore what you were saying.
So,
I'm going to go get a refill real quick.
do you know how to operate that device?
It's a keg.
Uh-huh.
I'm fully versed in keg.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Keg knowledge.
I'm
Was
gonna
that your
go next to
minor
someone who's getting
in
up.
college?
No, it was
That's all right.
not a minor.
Printmaking and keg knowledge. Double major.
I actually learned how to use kegs at Naya Gelaria here in Hercules. This is a postgraduate experience.
That makes sense.
Graduate studies.
You know,
Did you have a topic?
I do have a topic.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
So check this the F out. I know it's going to be okay if we show a short video because this is not a commercial video. It's a commercial video. And I'm just pulling it up here, and I want
Okay.
to talk about this. This is a game changer thing. This is something I remember you and I had a conversation about a few years ago, and I think I showed you like a really weird video where there's a guy and they had some stuff and some pipes, and they were trying to do what home biogas has done in an inexpensive, portable, super awesome biodigester. So check it out.
What, like a hot compost methane harvester?
Yes.
I guess we'll find
so
out.
we got. I'm pulling up on the
I'm
screen here a
intrigued.
little visual. So home biogas. So it's this thing. You got this bag down here, and for our listeners at home, it's a big bag of water, and above it you have a bag of gas.
Hmm.
And in the low bag of water, there's a sink that's above the water line. You drop refuse in, food scraps.
Mm-hmm.
They advertised pet waste, and they say it can produce per day enough gas to run a burner 2 to 3 hours a day. And it's enough to take a family's waste. Like literally, you can put poop in
That's
it.
enough to cook for a day.
You can cook
And
a chicken, and
yeah.
you're fine. And if you don't cook that many hours one day, you'd have extra
You'd
for
have
another,
extra.
because it's a big inflatable, low pressure. There's no, it's not, there's no high pressure or anything. So it's a big bag. That's the
bicorder,
tank.
like a week-long bicorder trip or something.
If we'd be pooping into
if
it.
you were at a campsite for a week,
Yep.
could
It takes
you-
a lot of water though to fill.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the thing is, you have to put like hundreds of gallons in it.
I
You
see.
could have a
see.
smaller one
I
that
see.
only took like 20 gallons,
Huh.
but that's how it holds shape and how the things interact with the stuff. And then
Wow.
at the other, so what it does, you could pipe up to it, and they sell a stove, but you can use normal stoves to run gas. It'll just burn like that.
Or
And
a hot tub.
there's a liquid fertilizer is created as the byproduct of the waste digestion process. So stuff that you would pay a lot of money for, a liquid form, would come out the other end anyway.
Right.
This thing's like $500.
It's like It's like its own business. You could sell
Yes.
the gas and sell the fertilizer.
Dude,
And
it's,
all you have to do is provide it with water and
and
go number
just-
two in it.
Well, and scraps, and you initially put in bacteria. So
Huh.
I want to see. Here's a little explanation here. Welcome back. Did it work out?
Yes, it
Okay.
actually decided to get water.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the topic we have started on to reintroduce you in is home biogas.
What is it, and where can I get it?
Home biogas is this totally amazing thing, and we're about to watch a video explaining it. Let's just start here. See what we can do.
Hello everybody, my name is
Hi.
Oria, I'm from Home Biogas, and I'm here to talk to you about our new household appliance, Home Biogas 2.0. Let me walk you through it. It's really simple. You put your organic waste in the sink. Organic waste could be anything. It could be fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy, and even bones. The food goes down here to our biodigester. It's filled with water and
Sounds like
bacteria
DJ Khaled.
that break down our organic waste and emit methane gas that we can cook on. The gas goes up
You throw
here to the
bones in
gas
there?
tank where it's
Everything.
stored, awaiting for you
good
to
news
use
for
it in
serial
the kitchen.
killers.
You can
Need a
get
place
up
to
to 3
dispose of
hours
something?
of cooking each day. And one last thing, this awesome system also creates liquid fertilizer. So you can water your plants daily and get an amazing herb garden, the same as we have here. Okay, now let's go see how the stove works.
Didn't they have one of these in Fight Club, the book?
Okay, guys, now let's see how the biogas comes out the stove after it's been
Funny if
stored
they were
in our
like
home
fart
biogas
sound effects
2.0
mixed in
system.
as he's
It's
talking.
been filtered. It goes through piping you get from us when you get the system.
Hi.
And it comes out our
Like just
home biogas stove, creating beautiful flame you can cook your food on. So simple to do. such a nice and
universally
warm flame.
funny.
It is
And
universally
that's how you cook on leftovers and get renewable energy in your own backyard using Home Biogas 2.0. Thanks, guys, and until next time, bye.
So
Thanks, guys. And until next time.
think about what that means. Think about that means your compost, trashes, dead animals, roadkill, poop. Poop is a major resource if used correctly.
Diapers, like, so what would you do, like a cloth diaper, just kind of scrape it?
Yeah,
into
you'd
there?
scrape it in. That'd be weird.
You'd slide, just like you slide mayonnaise on the food, you'd be
Yeah.
sliding
Poop
baby
on-
poop into
Could you just put the
the
baby
biogas.
right over the...
Yes, that's why I want a
Just let it
toilet.
Hold the
poop
baby.
into it, just
Hold the baby above it.
Just put a little toilet
Business.
seat on the sink on it. Yes, now we're
But
talking.
no, I have an idea. Do like a swing and just cut a hole in the swing and just put them right above it.
There we go. So they're just hanging out.
I need to trademark this right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the poop swing.
Miss Applejack's. Bing.
We'll send it over to
Bing.
Final Corp's patent department.
Here you go.
I'm already a
ASAP.
fan of Chinese crotchless pants. You familiar with this?
No, but I need
Okay,
to know
You
more.
had me at crotchless.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
had me at crotchless.
So Chinese
exactly.
crotchless pants are these things they put on toddlers when they're walking around outside. So they just squat to go, and it just falls out.
You know,
Or
that's
just like
exactly
it's an opening
what I
that's
pictured.
closed when they're walking around.
Yeah, well, mostly. Sometimes you see
Yeah.
some baby
so
butt,
it's
you know.
exactly like the lingerie,
Yeah, but for
except
babies.
the hole is moved to the back.
Well, it's a huge crease. It's just
Yeah.
so basically, and you just
so
pick
what
it
do
up like
the little
dog poop.
boys do? Do they just like have a flap for the junk, like a regular pair of underwear?
No, there's
Is it just for
nothing on
girls?
under the pants. It's boys and
It's just
girls, and
pants.
you look at a little baby genitalia
Well,
sometimes.
okay, no, I'm just saying, like, shouldn't they still have like the flap in the front for the boys? Because isn't that? I'm just saying, like,
Flap? What kind of flap do you think is
like,
required
the-
for boys?
Just like, I don't know, when you got the little, the thingy.
It's a fly.
Like, yeah,
It's
the
called a fly.
The fly. Thank you.
No.
And if you're in Spain, it's called the Spanish fly. That's where that comes from.
Wait,
What? That's where that came from. It's not. An
No, I'm
actual
just
bzz,
it did
Okay.
come from Spain. I don't know. I have no
Wow.
idea.
Well, I like
the
it.
rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
I like this home biogas deal.
Okay.
so can
So
you
you're saying-
imagine? Go ahead.
You could just put, I mean, you put everything that you would use in a day in there, except for like
Bones.
plastics.
Yeah,
Could you put like a newspaper in there?
probably not a
Yes.
lot. Probably some.
Some.
Yeah,
Or like
What
a,
about
a
used
piece of
toilet
printer
paper?
paper.
yeah,
What about use toilet paper?
yeah. That would probably go well in. That's crazy. You could be keeping your.
So now the question is.
She's going back to toilets. Just
you
put a
could-
toilet seat over the bag of water.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
here's the
yeah.
thing. Like, I'm just thinking, like,
I was
like
picturing that's what it
when
was.
the establishment stops, you know, and when the
When the
running
government
water,
falls,
when
yeah.
the running water stops. This is a second. Like, does it clean whatever you go in and like methane gas? Like, it's methane gas.
They
it
filter
breaks
it.
down. It breaks down. Like, it doesn't matter what the waste is. It breaks it down. Am I correct about
That's
this?
right.
So I'm just thinking, like, practically was what is the most toxic waste that we have? It's poo, right?
Political correctness.
Yeah,
Shit. The better.
could be.
That's the most toxic thing we have.
And I also heard dog poo is pretty bad. Like, you're not.
People are afraid of things because there's potential parasites, but
I
there's a
mean-
lot of undue fear there.
I mean, we're not in Vietnam where like the tapeworm or whatever it is the actual.
With the
thing.
black soil, do you know about that?
Tell me more.
They would have buckets there, and they would poop on the ground, and then the guy would come by and take the bucket, and he would pour it directly on the rice
Yeah,
fields.
yeah.
That's called night soil
Mhm.
because people would leave it out at night.
Yeah, I remember learning about
That's
this in
no
the seventh
good.
grade. I remember this about the seventh grade, like learning about. And then my friend Mai, M-A-I, shout out Mai across the street, my best friend in the whole wide world.
Shout out.
My Lom is her name, my little mom. Anyway, or the little red dot. Sorry, that's an inside joke, guys. So she then would be like, yeah, that's why we have to wash our rice from Vietnam. And my dad goes, no, you have to wash all the rice from out of the country. And then my dad gets out his K-Rose rice from like Louisiana or whatever. He's like, we only buy American rice.
It's poop free.
I had no idea America made rice. That was the thing.
Oh, that was a big export for us for a long time.
I
We
had
made tons
no
of it.
idea.
Yeah.
And then my dad tells me all about Louisiana. I've never been to Louisiana. Like my traveling has been like very, very limited. I've been to Pennsylvania, and then I've driven from Oklahoma to California. Like that's
it.
That's
You
the
flew to
extent.
Pennsylvania
Yes, flew to Pennsylvania
once. So you've been in an airplane twice.
Twice. No, I've been. My dad's a pilot. I've been. I've
You flew all over.
I've flown all over. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Right on.
Louisiana's cool.
I always want. That's a bucket list thing. I want to go for Carnival season, but I want to leave on Mardi Gras Day.
I was there in the depths of summer,
Ooh.
and it was insanely
Did you like
humid
sweat?
and hot.
Did you just like lose like all of your fat from like water weight? Yeah. That's what I want to do one year. I'm just gonna go down and just sweat all
And
my
I went
weight out.
swimming in the lake, and it was like, this is just a wetter version of the same. Heat,
No. Usually,
You know,
down south where I'm from, in the summertime, and you dive into like the lake, it feels like a bath. You're like, oh, a bath with moss in it.
Cool.
You know, or if you're really really lucky, it's like a pond that smells like sulfur.
Ooh, farty
Yeah,
pond.
Methane.
Yeah, that's a good time too. Little trivia fact about Oklahoma: there were no lakes in Oklahoma before the Dust Bowl.
Whoa.
All of the lakes in Oklahoma are man-made.
Huh.
All of the fish were brought in from somewhere else.
Wow.
All of the the thing is, what you do is if if you were a smart murderer, you take your body out to Lake Tenkiller, which was one of the bodies. Like usually, a body of water is a good place to stash a body, because it washes the DNA off eventually.
Yeah. So you want to hide some butt?
Pro tips here.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm gonna say this shit out loud so I don't eventually kill somebody in real life. Okay.
Cool.
Because now I have this then it's premeditated, right? If I'm saying it on a podcast and then later on I kill someone, it's premeditated at this point. Not a good idea for me.
Right, so no killing.
So no killing, not on my end. But if I was a smart killer, I would take them out to Lake Tenkiller. Like it has kill in the name of the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would just disappear because the fish would eat them?
No, usually they would turn up. Usually a fisherman would find them, or like they wash up.
Why
or
is it
like
good?
they
Why would you want to
bloat,
put them there?
Or
then?
like they bloat and then they surface. Because usually what happens,
Sounds like you have some experience.
Why would you want to put them there then?
Me or what?
Why would you want to have your body there? Will it be discovered?
Here's the thing about Oklahoma is, have you ever heard that Oklahoma's red dirt? It's clay.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to dig up, and depending on the time of year, if it's been a really wet year, you dig a couple feet and you get water. Or if it's been a really, really dry year, you dig and you can't fill the hole because it turns to dust. So it's like getting back to the Oklahoma curse, the red dirt, blah, blah, blah. Like Oklahoma dirt is really inconsistent. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get. If you're, like you have to water the foundations of the houses that have just been built because the foundations crack. Like, it's a very unstable soil. It's a very unstable soil. So, if you have a little
water
bit of,
the foundation?
if you have a little bit of education about, geology and shit like that, you could be smart with, killing people. I'm just saying.
Well, what's it?
Good to know.
So
It's all common sense, guys. Am I right? Like,
yeah,
like,
I mean that's
like,
clear. We've all been there.
And
But
most murders are like. I figure myself, if I ever did do it, it would be a crime of passion, and I'd go turn myself in immediately, and I'd just be like, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again, guys."
I don't know. You say that now, but you
Murder
might be
tips.
hating the moment. What if you're in love with somebody, and then there's like a passionate moment, goes the
What's
wrong way?
love got to? I'm sorry, no, I don't care how much I love somebody, and I've been in situations where I could have killed someone. I don't care how much I love you. You're not worth my freedom in the future.
Right.
Maybe if I have a child, maybe one day your child, whatever, of course you'd kill someone in an instant when you think your child's life is in danger or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
we all have the animal and the divine within ourselves.
Right. We could be monsters.
Yeah, murder tips. You hear it here first. Empathy and imagination. We're all about murder tips.
Yeah. keeping it empathetic.
Well, here's the thing.
So speaking of murdering, what if you could put whole bodies in the biodigester or in this lake?
Probably want to
Why
chop
would-
them up
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, of course you do a little,
I would chip them up
Wouldn't it?
right
Yeah.
into the
something like
that's
that.
a grisly image.
So why is that lake better than that?
I think it's just part of the circumstance. Like, no, wait. Not everyone can afford one of these. First off,
But no, actually,
For the
they're
serial
only
killer on a-
$500.
But our audience is more the serial killer on a budget.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
well, let's be honest. If you're a serial killer, I think this would take all the fun out of killing. Like, you know what I mean? Isn't that part of the ritual, like burying them and, you know, like making puppets? I don't know what people do.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
serial
know.
Killers. I don't know
Fucked
either.
up.
But I'm just saying, like, isn't that part of like what the killers are all about? Like the whatever their thing is.
Usually,
Well,
it's
their
a,
thing-
usually it's a thrill of some kind.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
What if their
and,
thing was the biodigester?
You know, I hope we're not giving anybody any ideas, and if we are, don't say anything.
Yeah, just to be clear, we don't advocate murder
We don't advocate
or killing.
this.
Yeah,
We don't.
here on the podcast for empathy and imagination,
Imagination.
we'd
Yes.
like to avoid all murders if possible.
See, now we're just touching into the imagination part, I think,
Right.
of,
Mhm.
of our podcast.
Well,
'cause-
we vacillate between the empathy and imagination.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes there's crossover,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes it's entropy and deterioration that
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
I'm,
gotta
I'm,
mix it
I'm
up.
loving the duality of it. I love it. I love
there's
it.
no topic is off topic.
Or too profane.
Exactly.
Yeah, free speech is encouraged here.
So, cannibalism. In
Yeah.
Oklahoma, there was a guy that killed a little girl in, I think it was Noble, Oklahoma. Kept part of her body in a freezer,
Oh.
and then
Classy.
this was in a. I've actually been in the apartment building, like where this happened. I wasn't in the. I don't know what apartment it was. Shout out to Sasha Cox and the Cox family of Noble. That bitch stole my identity, by the way. Fuck you.
So a shout out and fuck
Fuck
you.
you
at the
and
same
a
time.
shout out.
So anyway,
Wow.
yeah. So Noble is like 30 minutes away from Norman, Oklahoma, which is my least favorite town. Norman is my least favorite town in Oklahoma because that's where OU is, and I'm not a OU fan.
Mhm.
That's the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oklahoma University State.
Yeah. There you-
I have no idea.
all right. Yeah, and then there's OSU, which is up north in Stillwater. That's the cowboy.
You have like a
goat.
rival
Mr.
schools.
Fish, is that the guy? That's not the guy, is
No,
it?
Pistol
He's
Pete.
a different guy.
Pistol
Okay.
Pete is the Cowboys.
Is
fan.
it school
No,
rivalry?
no,
band?
the
Yes.
killer. Trying to get back to the
Oh, yeah.
killer of the.
What was his name? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We could look it up real quick. I'm sure. Type in cannibalism, Noble, Oklahoma. I'm sure.
Our audio engineer will look that up.
Can you get that?
You got that?
friend?
Cool, thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you. They got it. So,
Murders.
So cannibalism.
Well, that's a topic.
So cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
You started the topic. You said cannibalism.
Like nothing's too profane. Let's.
Do
go
you
to the
watch-
most
There was-
despicable.
Do you remember there was for a while there was this thing called instead of tofu it was like hofu, and it was, you know how there's like veggie chicken,
Uh-huh.
veggie beef. This was apparently
imitation human
imitation human flesh taste.
meat. Was this on the sunny side? The sun is always shine. The
Uh,
Philadelphia, the one with Danny DeVito.
Maybe I don't know,
They had a thing about
But-
something like that. Okay.
but this was a real company that existed
Well,
for a while.
Okay, if you look at the Donner Party, which I have studied intensely, because I'm
Really?
a huge fan of the Donner Party. Oh yeah,
So you're like into cannibalism,
I'm
kind
not-
of. Not like
I'm-
you would do it,
well,
but
here's the thing,
it
I-
intrigues you,
I was raised Catholic.
and they are into it.
Did you study that?
No, I'm just saying I was raised Catholic, and I'm just gonna put this out there. Like I believe in the holiness and all. No, I don't. Take that back. Listen, it is a mock cannibalist blood ritual that is being done, and it is
Sure.
fucking weird.
Appropriated from the pagans.
So I'm just gonna say this: my fascination with cannibalism was from being Catholic,
Makes
because I
sense.
didn't
Mhm.
understand it, but I got it.
Why do I have to
but
eat his
then-
body? It's weird.
But then I also find the humor in it. Like we're eating someone's body, but not really. We're drinking someone's blood, but not really. And it, like, when you have you guys ever been to
yeah,
church?
I mean it's
I have,
Like,
yeah.
it's a
and then
symbolic
and you
ritual.
don't eat
and-
anything because you're not supposed to take. You're not supposed to eat anything an hour before you take communion. So like on an empty stomach, you take a sip of wine, and you just feel really weird. Like your stomach's like real unsettled.
Right,
You're
that's
like,
part of the
"I
ritual,
must
though. They
eat
want you to
now."
be a little
Yeah.
unsettled.
Yeah. They want you to feel like that little tipsiness. We're gonna go get some donuts and some coffee after. But so getting back to the Donner Party and the fake meat, or the fake human flesh. The accounts of like when people have like eaten human meat to survive, they say how salty it tastes.
Huh.
Mm.
Like they talk about how salty it tastes. And my sister was telling me telling me about a culture in the Amazon. So the Amazon, it floods. Like you can't bury anybody there. So there's a culture where they actually, when someone passes away, everybody in the tribe eats that person except for the family members.
To eat the whole thing or just a piece?
Yeah, and it's a sad and it's a sorrowful thing. Like the family gets their own special meal, and everybody in the tribe eats the yeah. I find that very interesting, and it's just this cultural thing about it, because one of the things that makes us human is, what do we do with our dead? What do we have to bury our dead? We have to do something with our dead, scatter the ashes, or something like that.
Nature's slap on the wrist.
So here we are, and getting back to the
biodigester.
Home
biogas.
So then the real question is, once it's turned into this methane thing, is it technically cannibalism if we're using the bodies to fertilize the food? Soylent Green.
No, because the
slippery
definition
slope.
of cannibalism is this: the practice of eating the flesh of one's own species. That's so.
Couple things here.
Couple steps removed.
So Earth is one gigantic compost heap. That's a fact. The other thing is most tribes that are cannibalistic tend not to survive, because nature's slap on the wrist is you're going to develop mega neurological problems.
Yes, absolutely.
If you eat your own species.
Absolutely. There are
That's what happens.
There are yes, iron deficiencies, or it's too much iron in the from eating it, and so it does make them go mad.
You go extinct because your tribe is become dumb because of eating so much human flesh.
That sucks. I don't want to die that
That's
way.
how nature, says, hey,
Slow
you really shouldn't do
painful
this if you want to
death.
So the
survive.
real question is, do you like salted pork?
Yeah.
Because that is
I
probably
like
what
salt
we taste
in general,
like.
so yeah. I've heard to eat the butt first too, 'cause
Right.
that's the most.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so like that plane crash in the
The soccer
Alps
team.
or whatever.
Yes,
soccer
the
team.
Andes, yeah.
Andes.
Alive.
Yeah.
Alive, yes. That was
So cannibalism.
pretty brutal.
Donner Party 3, please.
Donner Party 3? Oh.
Donner Party of 3.
Oh.
That's that great old
Would you
was
like
it-
to dine
No, I think
in
it was
today?
I think that was Patch Adams, the
Patch
late
Adams.
great
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Let's
Yeah.
do a second of silence. Okay.
Robin Williams.
I mean, I guess he was, I don't know the details, but he thought he might be having Parkinson's, and there were other
Louis
health
Body.
problems.
I heard Louis Body was the last I
And-
heard by
And I was kind of like, oh, it's okay. I'm okay with it. If you're, again, you have control over your own body. So if you want to, whenever you want to check out, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think he was murdered.
It's just how you do
Murdered?
it is kind
I
of
think
fucked.
he was murdered.
By
Like when you
who?
hang yourself and your family's going to find
Okay.
it, that's kind of fucked.
Okay. Have you guys seen World's Greatest Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. The measurements of what I've looked at was he was standing in the doorway, and
In the movie?
no, his Robin Williams, like the autopsy and like the description of how he died, it just does not. It's suspicious to me. It's suspicious to me.
So
He
I'm
was standing.
interested.
He wasn't
me
sitting
more
down.
about
He was
that.
standing, and I want to say most suicides are sitting. Whenever you're doing it that way,
I see.
it makes more sense that way.
I like that you have a lot of conspiracy ideas. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just
Thank
mean
you.
it's interesting.
I'm sorry. I got really intense real quickly. Like, if
Intensity is great.
so, yeah. I'm just gonna put that out there. Robin Williams was worth more dead than alive, and he died on a particular.
Who would have the motive?
Well, let's see, guys. He was in The Crazy Ones. It was a TV show with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, whoever she was, and the guy from Mad Men. It was actually really good. I think a lot of his stuff was. If you just remember,
But who would have the motive to kill him?
whoever has the rights to his movies, whoever has the rights to
Oh, I
his
see.
to his stand up.
If they didn't want him to get a cut, I mean, wouldn't his family still be getting his royalties on his creative
that,
products?
And if you remember, it was a few months after. It was a few months after Sandy Hook. It was either, I want to say it was a few months after Sandy Hook, and
Whoa.
I think
Do
it
you
was
think they're
just-
related?
I think that the shootings and all of that is all about traumatizing the population and making us roll over in our rights. And I think losing, for me, he was like a father figure. Like for me, he was like my father was away a lot. He was in the Air Force. So for me, like putting on Mrs. Doubtfire, putting on, Good Morning Vietnam. I grew up on Good Morning Vietnam.
So
Like,
Sandy
yeah.
Hook was a false flag operation
In
and
my
is
opinion.
somehow related to Robin Williams' murder.
I'm not saying it's related. I'm saying that they happened back to back, and Robin Williams was in a primetime TV show, and it was really, really funny. It was good. Like, I remember setting my DVR and watching it and being excited to watch it the next day.
What show was he doing?
It was called The Crazy Ones. The Crazy Ones, and it was about advertising. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
So wouldn't he? So you think he would want to keep doing that show, but someone else had other plans?
I think Robin. Okay, this is just I'm saying for any celebrity, whether it's Whitney Houston, Chris Martin, or any celebrity, or who's the Fast and the Furious guy, Paul Walker, any of these people that have untimely deaths, JFK even. You've outlived your usefulness, and we're going to use your death to publicly traumatize the nation. It's called the Werther effect. Have you guys ever heard of this?
It's a grim view, man.
The Werther effect is something that happens. They notice that after a headline that has a suicide in the headline, they find that plane crashes happen. They find that car accidents happen. And they decided that it was a correlation of the fact
car accidents are constant.
Well, the Werther effect is the simple fact that there's a suicide mentioned in the headlines, and then plane accidents and car accidents go up.
Because of people's sort of subconscious associations.
Just
another reason not to read the news.
Exactly, absolutely. So when I talk about the bad thing, like the Sandy Hook happened, and we're all, they're shooting our kids, oh my God, and then Robin Williams is committed suicide, died suspiciously, might have jerked off a little too hard and forgot to breathe, like whatever the fuck happened.
That was David Carradine.
It's suspicious. No, but they're trying to say he died from erotic asphyxiation, and
Robin
it doesn't
Williams?
make any sense. Yes.
I thought he just hanged himself.
No, they were saying it was erotic asphyxiation, but
Who's they?
Susan Williams gives first
Susan
interview since
Lucci?
her husband's death last year and reveals the actor had a debilitating brain disease they called Lewy body dementia.
Louise. You mentioned it.
yeah.
Yeah, when comedian Robin Williams hanged himself in California home in August 2014, the news of his death was met with incomprehension around the world.
I mean, it is flabbergasting, but once you know that he had some serious diagnoses happening, it's like, I get it.
Okay, now
To me, the thing is, like, you don't want your family members to walk
you
in
die.
and see you dead. Do it in a more subtle way.
He wasn't found by his daughter. He was found by somebody else, probably his manager or something. So, right. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, Robin Williams is very, very close to his daughter, and I don't really see him doing something like that to hurt his daughter. Like he...
Sometimes you got to take control of your own life.
Did he win an Academy Award
We'll
because
probably-
he should have?
We'll probably never know the truth.
Yeah.
I thought he was great in Death to Smoochie. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's like one of my favorite performances of his.
Yes,
remember that
that's
one.
the best one. Yeah. No, it's up there. I mean, like I said, Good Morning
Well,
Vietnam, I grew up
Birdcage
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really good.
on. Madonna, put on the inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Right on.
I feel like we're going to pour one out for the
Cannibalisms.
homie, Robin
Robin
Williams.
Robin Williams.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like what's like when you mug a bunch of guys named Bill. Robin Williams.
Whoa, she snorted. She liked Robin Williams.
I think I could do this stand-up thing.
I think you
you
could
can do it.
too.
Just read your.
It's
Final
easier to
Quote
be
list.
funny in conversation, though, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right on.
You got a quick wit.
Okay.
Stand-up comedy. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah. Do you want? Should we speak about that again?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're all fans here, right?
Big time.
I used to watch more stand-up comedy than I do now. But I am a fan of people getting up on stage and trying to be funny. It's like there's courage there,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I feel afraid to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I feel interest in it and a fear of it. And there's like, you get ideas and you think about stuff and you're like, oh, I need to think about it more or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, you get up on stage playing drums probably 100 times.
Probably. Yeah, that's no problem.
But then you have these fears over things that you just haven't practiced, I guess.
Yeah, if I just grab a mic, I mean, you do the podcast and go, but if you grab a mic on the crowd and be like, okay, just say something that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, well, I would probably start with like fart noises or mayonnaise things or something like that.
Yeah.
Just get the silliness going and
Get
then
the
maybe
crude
tell
humor out there.
Yeah, and then tell some scary story about like poop or something.
Yeah, the boat stories. Poop boat stories.
Poop boat
Very
stories,
funny.
yeah, stuff like that. Well, maybe that's where to start.
You do stand-up comedy. How was the first few times you did it? Do you feel used to it?
You actually caught me the second time doing stand-up comedy.
Second time
Okay.
ever.
The second time ever, yeah.
Nice.
Most of the time they're just stories or observations or stolen stories from other people. And it's like, that's a great story. I just wish you told it better, kind of a thing.
You can take stories and kind of
Yeah.
change them around, you
Yeah.
know.
I think it just comes from on my dad's side, we're Italian, Swiss, Armenian, so very much handing down stories is a very big part. And then my mother's side of the family is Russian, German, and so handing down stories on both sides of my family was always a very big deal. Everybody in our family was really good storytellers and really funny stories.
That's fun.
Yeah, like my grandfather, Reinhard Bergman, he told a story how his brother took him to like a casino. Says, "Listen, I'm going to waste this quarter right here. I'm going to watch." So he puts it in and he ends up winning the jackpot.
It's a good story.
It's a great story.
Short
so
and sweet.
So he wins the jackpot and I was like, well, what'd he do? What'd you guys do? He's like, well, we bought dinner and we helped mom pay for whatever. And like his brother was only like a year older than him. He was trying to teach a lesson. And then it was like,
Right.
sometimes
Whoops.
life gives you the lottery, or he said it was like $1.50, which my mother says was like $200 back in 1930, whatever it was.
Huh.
So yeah, so
your very first time of comedy, where was that?
that was at Toots.
So you've done Toots twice.
I've done Toots
Okay.
twice.
Toots.
Yes.
Toots.
Now
Is that how they pronounce it? Toots?
Toots. I said
like
Toots.
Tootsie?
I usually say Toots.
I say Toots.
I said Toots, but then I was corrected. It's Toots, like hey Toots, like.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like-
Hey, Toots.
And it has the girl in the little champagne glass or the martini glass.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Used to be a brothel
yeah.
I thought it was because of all the methane gas that was floating around inside.
out of the C&H
Toots.
factory.
Toots. That
Does
makes
sugar
more sense.
produce methane gas?
Probably in some juncture. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Definitely.
Well, wait. The alcohol. Did you cook off the alcohol or something to?
Well, alcohol vaporizes at a lower
Wait.
temperature than water.
Don't they make it out of beets here?
Who?
The sugar
No. C&H factory
uses
ships
cane.
over from the islands.
Okay. So, as I assume, you got to boil down the sugar and you got to get rid of the alcohol that's in the sugar cane. I'm assuming because most
I don't
things that
know.
produce sugar have alcohol, and you got to burn it off to produce the sugar. It's kind of the opposite of fermenting.
Huh. There might be, because if there's sugar remaining, there could be some alcohol. There's a chicken story going on here
Yeah.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
What if they can...
They are
Dogs
in
are
an
inside,
argument right now. One of them wants to be right.
Yeah, they're probably like running at
Or
each
maybe
other
they're
and see
laying.
who's going to move
Or-
first.
Or maybe they're laying their eggs.
What's that game they're playing?
It's chicken?
Yeah.
Do they do that? Is that like a thing that they...
They have a
where did
pet-
that come
They have a
from?
pecking order.
Yeah.
There's a
Didn't the
ruler.
term chicken come from Rebel Without a Cause? I'm no chicken.
I think that's
Is it
how we
James
named
Dean?
the animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the
I
historiosity
think
of
James
that.
Dean is responsible for naming chickens.
Yeah.
I think that's
One
historically accurate.
One year in the 5th grade in Oklahoma City, a chicken just happened upon our neighborhood, and me and my friend I told you guys about, it's called a chicken. It's a chicken, and so we were trying to catch the chicken, and we don't know where the fuck it came from, and it was Thanksgiving weekend. So then it was like, who can catch the chicken so we can fry the chicken and have it and try to do a turducken or something. Anyway, my next door neighbor Alan, who shot his toe off at a gun show. I got stories about Alan, my next door neighbor.
Toe off at a gun show.
So
On purpose.
Well,
Fuck
holding
his
his-
toe.
holding his leg up.
Bam.
Alan Strider, wherever you are, I'm sorry for the story. Anyway, so he caught the chicken, and the joke is like they grilled it on the barbecue. Alan Strider was a hunter enthusiast, and he was like in the army or something like that. In the year that the Y2K year 2000 started, I was talking to my friend Justin on the phone, and I went out to get the mail, and I came back and I was like, it's like, Justin, he's like, yes, I'm calling because I'm scared right now. And I was like, Alan, our next door neighbor, has a bunch of guys in full army camouflage, and they have guns, like rifles. And I'm terrified because I'm like, Mom, Dad, I think Alan's gonna take over the neighborhood when the clock strikes midnight. And then my dad, so I call I'm genuinely terrified of Alan. Like, he was a scary guy growing up. And so the mom's like, oh no, he works in the army. He's probably gonna work downtown, which she was right. But then I told my dad, and I'm like, Dad, you gotta go talk to Alan. Make sure tell him to skip our house. If whatever happens, skip our house. 'Cause I was going to a church lock-in. I wasn't even going to be home. So I just wanted to make sure Mom and Dad were going to be okay. And Alan knew, Dad gives him some beer every 4th of July. Like, we got to keep it okay. And don't kill my parents in their sleep, okay?
So you have to pay the serial killer to keep him happy?
Well, Alan is not a serial killer. I know for a fact he's
But
not.
he blew
Was
his
he
toe off.
aspiring serial killer?
Yeah.
If so, listen to this episode, Alan. We had some tips earlier.
Yeah, we had some tips. He had like a cage for his dog, and he put the cage in like a week after they moved in. Like, it was like a hunting dog. Like, he wouldn't let us pet the dog.
Like a kennel?
Yeah, like a kennel. Yeah, like a kennel. It was just like a mean little torture. It was a mean
Was
kennel.
he using it as a fighting dog? Was it
I don't think so.
just wasn't being nice to it?
Yeah,
wasn't-
well, it was just in our view, our dogs are like our children.
Yeah. Well, hunting dogs, you can't do that. You can't have them in
you
your
have to keep
house and
them
stuff.
Right.
strict. You got to have them.
Well, you don't basically you don't have the same bond you have with
I see.
in-house dogs. In-house dogs, they get the hierarchy thing, and there's the rules and stuff. But if you have the
Okay.
hunting dog, you can't have them doing that because they need to.
They're all
Be in
business.
work
Go do
mode.
it.
They're all
Yeah.
business.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And then you have your cannibal dogs.
Even like with
Separate.
protecting dogs too, like for sheep and cows and stuff, you get protection dogs that you do not pet.
Yeah.
They just
So-
they bond with the cows.
So
cattle.
the dog that looks like Inferno, what's
Uh-huh.
is
That's
that
his
the
name.
name from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she looked just like him. It was a Rhodesian Ridge, and she was a gun shy dog. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
She killed a crow one time.
Whoa.
A baby crow. It
It's
was
like
really
an
gross.
omen.
It was really good.
A
She's killed
baby
many-
crow? Jeez, this is the most brutal episode we've ever done.
She killed a
good.
sparrow once. She was a bird dog. Like he went out and killed. This was Mr. Jones. I want to say he was a conductor for Monroney Junior High, and he gave us our dog Roxy. Her name was Roxy Boxy.
I used to have a cat called Roxy.
Yeah, it's a good name. And Roxy was the most protective. She bit the mailman several times.
Ooh.
The mailman did not like her.
No, I
Roxy
don't
was
want that.
attacked.
Cool guy.
So Roxy saw us one time. Roxy was barking. Like, we just moved into our house in Moore. My parents built the house brand new. We just had boxes everywhere. Roxy's we didn't have a fence yet, so Roxy's barking outside, and I'm like, okay, Roxy, you get to go outside. You're a good dog. You get to go outside. So she's out there, and there's a
Immediately
skunk.
regret it.
There's a
Oh,
skunk
yeah.
out there.
Fuck
So
yeah.
we think she bit the skunk. She gets sprayed. My mom goes outside and pulls Roxy out. My mom's arm gets sprayed too.
By the
So-
skunk?
By the skunk. So our brand new house smells like skunk for the first time. Like, my mom. So this is when we learned, guys, vinegar. Vinegar is the only thing that gets skunk. Like, you just pour vinegar everywhere, pour it on your arm. Poor Roxy was she was such a good. She protected the home and all. We left her and we had to give her rabies shots, and she had a fever. Like, she threw up a bunch of times after all that. She was in a bad shape because we think she bit the skunk. But I have so many skunk stories. Like, the skunk one time got into my rollerblades. You know, the little boots or the rollerblades?
Yeah.
I saw it and I threw it, and it's kind of skunks kind of shuffle. They don't move like a raccoon at all. Like, they look like a I don't know. what was the animal that the airbender has?
No
It
clue.
looks like a
see the airbender.
snuffleupagus, kind of moves like a snuffleupagus kind
Like
of
an
a
elephant
thing.
character?
Yeah. So they like shuffle their feet like elephants, kind of. But they're all furry and they got a tail that stands straight up.
There's this huge skunk events that happen where people get their skunks together and have like they dress them up.
A
And
skunking.
They can be
Yeah.
domesticated, right?
Like
you just
an
gotta
inting?
take that gland out.
well, there's several
Yeah.
glands. There's glands in the
Yeah.
neck too, and I've even seen people dress and eat a skunk in like on YouTube, and it's totally possible.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't want to pop those sacks. But yeah,
Yeah.
skunks are crazy. My dogs killed a
Cats
skunk.
have that too. They have the spray sack.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen Beverly Hills?
Down and out in Beverly Hills.
No. So it's like a brownies or like a Girl Scouts, but they're selling cookies and they're like in Beverly Hills. It's like in the early '90s. It's totally a girl thing. The chick from
What's it called? Just Beverly Hills.
no, Cracker Jack Beverly Hills. I can't remember the name of it, but the chick from Cheers,
Bobby
Diane,
Soxers.
the annoying chick Diane from Cheers, the blonde one.
Oh yeah. What's her name? Shelley something.
So she does it. She's like the
Shelley
mom,
Long.
and all the parents are basically like divorced. It's like the mom is divorcing, and they're all rich, and they're really obnoxious, and so they're like rich girls going into the wilderness, and there's a scene where like the mean troop, and the lady's like, I found you in Kmart. So there's the whole thing about Kmart through the whole movie, and anyway, the mean lady of the troop, there's a skunk, and the girls, the skunk helps the stupid Beverly Hill girls go over the finish line before the red feathers, the Stepford cookie sellers.
The other team.
So then she takes the skunk and she skins it and she wears a skunk hat. And
Nice.
That was my point for my once in 8 apple story. There you go. Beverly Hills Troop or something like that, I want to say. The name of it. Anyway, it's a great
Troop
movie.
Beverly Hills.
Troop Beverly Hills.
That's what it is.
It's a great family one if you're looking to make fun of some girls and hoity-toity. I don't know. It was a good time.
Right on.
You had me at make fun of girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My dogs killed a skunk recently. They got it and they bit it to death.
Did you make them do what we did and do a rabies test and do all that?
No, they were not at all injured.
They just got sprayed.
They got sprayed.
But didn't they? From what I understand about rabies, if they were exposed to the blood of the skunk and got it in their mouth,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert. I think it's one of the things you have to test the animal to see the dead animal to see.
No, they didn't get rabies, which is good. They would have been dead already.
Oh, okay.
It's a long time
Well, I
ago.
hate to do Old Yeller to them and shoot them out in the back.
Well, got to do what you got to do.
I don't
Empathy
wish
and
your dogs
imagination.
are lovely. Dogs are lovely. I don't want to
Killing.
wish that on anybody.
Wow.
Wow.
We've had cannibalism and murder.
Murder,
and like this
death,
is
Shooting your own dog?
Psychology
so
of the psychopath.
we get that you're
imagination.
a brand new stand-up comedian and you're starting dark.
Comedian.
You're starting dark, and that's
I am.
good.
I am.
And just keep going dark and dig down there, and tell stories about. I go gross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig
go
down
gross.
about gross.
You go gross.
Yeah.
Everyone,
What are you
everyone
gonna go?
farts and everyone poops, right?
I go silly.
Yeah.
I can get dark.
Yeah.
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 Usually it's silly darkness.
That's a good combo.
I think just the fact that my how do I say this? My family has a sick sense of humor to begin with. Like my dad's kind of a psychopath. He wakes up every morning at 4 o'clock, goes to 4 o'clock a.m., and he goes to bed like 7 p.m. If it's a social day, he may stay up to like 9:30, and he's like, I gotta go to bed, guys. I can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my dad's super religious, and he goes to mass every day, and he goes to hang out with his amigos gringos, his the other friends of his that go to church at St. Patrick's
Every day.
Every day, they go to church and then they go and have coffee together at Burger King in Rodeo at St. Patrick's. So they
Okay.
do every day.
Sounds
Wow.
like a good routine.
Yeah, it's a great routine,
Every 7 days a
Routinize-
week.
You
Yeah.
routinize your life.
Yeah. So the joke is, Dad, what are you doing that early in the morning? Like So it developed to, Dad, are you going out to kill the people today? Are you? And he just like look at me and goes, Ashley, if I did, you'd never know.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
It's a great one, especially when like, you know, because usually I'd sneak out or like, you know, leave really late in the middle of the night and then come home like around 6 in the morning and then like, Ashley, you been drinking? No, Dad. Have you been killing people? No. All right. Good morning. And then we both, you know, I go to bed and he continues playing solitaire, whatever he's doing on the computer that day. Like
At 4 in the morning.
At 4 in the morning. See, my dad always
Why
looks
would you get up
very
at 4 in the
busy.
morning?
Well, I think it's part of the fact that my mom snores really loudly. Like my mom snores and then she
Shout out
stops.
to Mom.
Mom, I love you very much. And we've had this discussion many a time. This is why no one sleeps in the same room with you when we go on vacation.
She probably knows.
She knows this. And the thing is, Dad goes to sleep so early so he can avoid, like he could be asleep already. Because if you're asleep already when someone's snoring, it doesn't matter.
Earplugs are just, he doesn't
Or,
know.
or, you know, it's in your dream, you know, like you just start dreaming about a saw or
About
whatever.
your wife snoring.
Right.
I'd go earplugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So, where was I going with this? I forget. Mom. Shout out to Mom.
Dad's a psychopath.
Dad's a psychopath, right? So that's the logic I'm giving him for going to bed so early every day. It makes sense to me if you're already asleep.
So is he like lead sermons 7 days a week?
No, my dad's not so much a public speaker as a class clown.
Okay.
Which is where I get it. So my dad, the one time he ever did like a reading at church, it was a reading of St. Paul to the Gentiles, and he read a reading of St. Paul to the genitals, and continued reading the whole thing, like.
But he's hyper religious.
More of a pubic speaker.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say hyper religious. My dad does not like cursing. My dad finds things. Like, he finds my sense of humor sometimes off-putting, but he gets the logic behind the joke. But he doesn't like it when I make fun of the Virgin Mary and I say Mary with a cherry. He really gets offended.
Mary kept her cherry.
Yeah, so is my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it was
Allegedly.
allegedly.
See, my
I don't want her.
Okay.
I don't want her lawyers coming after us.
Mary's?
Yeah,
Dude, they are well paid.
Mary.
they're all boy castrati. That's what I heard.
Wait. Are we talking about the Catholic Church or a person named Mary?
Just making jokes about
Yeah.
the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
See. My thing is, if we really see, I personally, we're going to take a left. I think Jesus was black. Like Jesus was, and let's be real. The Virgin Mary was a black mama. She was. Okay, now let's be real. Jesus at the wedding where he made water into wine. Jesus was like a guy. Like if he's gonna make shots. You know, what do we want? We want gin. Okay, we got it. Water to gin. Water to whiskey. Water to vodka. No.
No.
Mother Mary came and said, "No, Jesus, you need to keep it classy. This is a wedding. You can't embarrass me, Jesus. You can't embarrass me right now. No. Stop it. Guys, pour it all back into the same jug. You need to make a tasteful Pinot Noir red that'll go with the lamb and go with the rosemary and all this other shit we gotta eat. And we gotta do this for 3 more days, Jesus. 3 more days. Guys, more water in the buckets. No, more water. Do not embarrass me, Jesus. This better turn out right." Like, you know what I mean? Like who is going to curb the Messiah better than a black woman telling her baby, no. You better listen to me right now. No. Like,
I get that.
yeah.
I get that.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. I think it's likely that if that person existed, he would have been of a darker complexion than is commonly displayed.
Well, 2,000 years ago, let's decide. Like, honestly, 2,000 years ago, weren't we all a little darker?
Well, I mean, if you really go back, we all are from
Africa.
Western Africa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So absolutely. I mean, if we're really, really getting back into like the heritage of things, you know, I'll just throw this out there. I'm Armenian once again, right? If Israel was created because of World War II and the Holocaust, why does Azerbaijan have Mount Ararat? I just want to throw that out there.
No clue.
Okay, Armenia.
That's a good question.
Okay,
I have
Mount
no idea.
Ararat was the ancestral lands of Armenia, which is where Noah's Ark landed.
Okay.
Okay. And
Noah's Ark, though, might have not existed.
Okay, but let me just throw this out there from a strictly sarcastic, smartass, philosophical point of view.
Okay.
If they landed on Mount Ararat, and that is where Noah landed his ark, and that is where the cradle of civilization really began, technically, couldn't we say that the chosen land is Armenia? They landed there, they cultivated there, they stayed there. The story was just hijacked by the Jews and the Israelites, and the story just kind of got a little left.
A little picked up.
A little left. A little left. And then Abraham picks it up, and they go to Canaan, and Cana, or where Canaan is actually the biblical text and all that.
So let's say we say that Armenia is the chosen land. What do we do with that information?
Well, we can't do anything
In
with that. It's just
2018.
it's my pointless opinion. We can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Okay.
Well, maybe you're right, though.
There's
Maybe
so
we
much,
all move to Armenia.
so much identity politics
I don't
happening.
know. I don't think anybody wants to move to Armenia. I mean, it looks like a beautiful place, and there's a lot of antiquities that.
Everyone wants to move to America.
No.
Hello.
No.
No? You don't think so?
No. I think Americans think everyone wants to move to America. I think we're all told they all want to come here, and everyone's like, no, actually, we're good. We're right here. We're gonna stay right here. Unless you're, from a war-torn
Two different
country.
movies on the same screen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the propaganda we're being told, that everyone wants to come here. They're coming
Well, I
to
think
America.
I think the numbers also say that too.
But what are we comparing it to? Sweden, where
To-
they're not letting anyone in, or
We're comparing the number of people that are
Mexico?
immigrating here.
Yeah.
That's what we're comparing it
But,
to.
but, I mean,
Well, there's a lot of people that are, and classically, and you can find lots of results of people, like, generally speaking, thinking about potential success economically being possible here.
Sure.
That's kind of I wouldn't say that that's just an American idea.
I mean, I think that's likely
But
why
are they-
my ancestors came here, and
Yeah,
probably
mine too.
each of yours as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to think that has just somehow stopped,
I don't think it fully has.
It's not
Yeah.
true. I think it's still going on. This is the best country in the West. I mean, it's hands down the best. There are problems, but yeah, everyone wants to come here because it's got so much to offer
And I'm proud.
in terms of like
An American.
Yeah.
At least I know I'm free.
cue the Neil Diamond.
Won't
Forget
forget the man who died, who gave that right to
Who
me,
gave his
and I
life for me.
gladly
His
stand.
His name is
up
Donald Trump.
next to you and defend her still today. Oh, ain't no doubt I love this land.
I'm off.
God bless the USA.
Amen to that.
I remember. Okay, so my pops was in the military, right? The Gulf War, the first one in '91. That
The
song
PGA
was
Open?
every fucking where. That song was that.
They're
and-
playing it on the radio?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I remember having roller skates and some flags and being like, I'm helping America. I'm waving the flag. Like you do when you're a little kid playing outside, like whatever. Like
I would do
remember-
that.
I remember doing
I was
parades.
too busy serial killing at that.
I remember doing parades, and I would dress my Barbies up like little cheerleaders. Like, go America, go America. But
Wow.
so, but then what's the other song that was really popular at that time? "The Wind Beneath My Wings" by Bette Midler, who is my all-time favorite person in the world. What else? "Hero" by fucking what's she's so annoying. She married the Mariah Carey. She did the "Hero" song.
You like Mariah Carey?
I do not like her.
Don't like Mariah Carey.
I'm
Yeah.
not a Mariah Carey fan. Like, I can sing her stuff. I got whistle tones like her. Like,
You can get the dolphin notes.
not right now, but yes, I can.
So you have a sickness or something? That's what it is?
Well, they're called whistle tones, and they're like above your
Yeah.
soprano note. Yeah, and all like, you just gotta open up and just let them I call it the dog whistle tones. Like
Higher pitches.
no
That
one
makes sense.
likes that noise. No one likes it.
It's cool mixed in with other stuff.
Yeah, but if you're doing it in the like behind someone at church, no one wants to hear that shit. You know,
No.
it'll scare the old lady with her hearing. And like, did my hearing just break? But shoot. So yeah. So this thing is 91. What else was popular in 91? Go Ninja,
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm.
That was Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that was for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
That had a profound effect in my life.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the Donatello was, and who was actually Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he was in the
Well,
in the costume.
Wasn't he
inside.
not? I thought he was like did the voice but didn't do the costume.
That was the third one. The third one, someone else came in, but it was him. And I had a thing for Donatello, like you would not believe. He was my boyfriend.
Right on.
He was the smart one. He figured out the pizza. Like he figured out how to get what were the little Rocksteady and Bebop, like the turtle and the dog,
Like the boar
Yeah.
and the something else.
Well, they didn't name them Rocksteady and Bebop in the movie, but they look just like them.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're talking about Ninja Turtles 2, The Mystery of the Ooze. That was about
the time
91.
traveling?
No, that's the third one.
That's
where they
right,
go back.
that's right.
That's actually okay. The only thing that made that movie cool was the time traveling, like the culture shock of like like learning from the old school Japanese or Okinawan or where'd they go back and was it Japan?
I don't even remember.
I don't think it was a specific Asian culture. I think they just kind of kept it vague. They kept it vague. I think. On purpose.
That's likely.
Yeah.
It's inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my parents, before I was born, they were stationed in Okinawa, Japan. And so this tattoo means you guys can get the tattoo made in Japan. And the second Karate Kid takes place.
Would you hold
in
up again to
Okinawa.
that one?
Huh?
Hold it up again. There you go.
Yeah, made in Japan.
Nice.
So I was made in Japan, but I wasn't born there. My parents came back to Oklahoma to have me. And
They wanted you to be an American citizen.
they did. They didn't want there to be any confusion.
It's almost like they like America.
Yeah.
They
It's the
do.
greatest
They
place
do.
in the
You know,
world.
my dad spent 20 years in the Air Force. He loves this country.
Yeah. Still?
I think
do
he just
too.
loved flying planes. I think that was really his love, was aviation. But he loved the fact that he got a paycheck. He couldn't believe that he was getting paid to fly planes. He couldn't believe that.
That's a cool spot to be in.
That is.
Yeah.
He really loved his job. I think he also liked being away from the wife and kids. I think that was probably.
Just a little bit.
I think
He wanted to get as far away as possible, like straight up.
I don't know about that. I think he liked the camaraderie of like the boy, like the come on guys, let's go get a drink. Come on guys, we're gonna go fly a plane. Like
The
I
boys
think he-
club thing.
My dad still has the boys club now. It's, come on guys, let's go to church.
Yeah.
Let's go get some coffee at Burger King.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think
I'm down with it.
I think all men want a men's group to do things in.
I think it's important to the masculine identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go out into the wilderness as a group of men and survive and come back.
Uh-huh.
And what woman doesn't want a man that can figure that shit out for her?
Right.
No,
Like the internet.
Whoa.
The internet or something.
No, the thing
Careful, where people are going like, I am a woman who wants to do the
Well,
man.
Well,
the
that's
thing was
fine. That's fine.
Right,
I'll
right.
say
Nothing
this.
against that.
There has rarely been a time. Okay, let's put it this way. My dad raised me never to need a guy for anything. If I can't call him for it, I
Sounds
don't
like
need
the
to
Virgin
do it.
Mary.
Right, right. If I can't call my dad to fix the problem or to help me figure this out, I probably don't need to be doing.
You don't
whatever
need a
I'm
man
doing.
to get
Right.
pregnant, honey. That's why I
True,
said
true,
Virgin
true.
Mary. 'cause
There you go. I liked that.
Immaculate.
Well, if you've read the Dan Brown, the one about the Catholic Church, the guy
is that the Da Vinci Code?
No, the one after that. No, I'm sorry, the prequel to the Da Vinci Code. Angels and Demons. Angels and Demons.
Right.
The
Came
guy
out
that-
after the Da Vinci Code, though.
Yeah,
didn't
the
it?
movie did. Yeah. The guy that was the guy that blew up the guy that did the whole thing. He was the
With the whipping?
The
or
villain?
that's-
No, not. That's in the first. That's in the Da Vinci Code, and they changed the villain around. In in Dan Brown's version of Angels and Demons, the bad guy was an assassin, but it's like an H in front of it.
Well,
Right.
the Hashishin was the original
There you
name.
go.
That's where
Thank
the
you.
word
That's what I'm
comes
trying to
from,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, and they changed it to be some like weird, obscure Eastern European kind of guy. But
They were
Right.
the Hashishans were,
Yeah.
and they got hella
they
high.
were Turkish. They were from Turkey during
Right.
the Crusades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
The
getting back-
birthplace of Thanksgiving, Turkey.
Yes. Dude, that was a good one.
Thank you, Aubrey.
So,
Hey, anytime.
So getting back to like the guy that was the orchestrator of the Illuminati, all of that, it was all fake. And the guy that did it, he was actually conceived by
In the
in the
book
test tube.
or
Yeah,
the
in the test
movie
tube.
or the
He
real
was a
life?
test tube baby by
Wow.
a priest and a nun, and they did not mess up their vow of chastity. They were still chaste. They used science to do it, and they were wanting to incorporate science into the church. And he did a 180, like, no, mom and dad, that's evil, that's ignorant. No.
It's a weird way to include science into the
Interesting.
church. They're going
I
right
like that
for
concept.
sex.
So instead of him being like, yeah, mom and dad made me, he was all like, no, I'm a sin. I was science. I'm a test tube baby.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's Dan Brown. So
Okay.
test tube babies, Virgin
Dan
Mary.
Brown. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, though, the Annunciation story is kind of like an alien artificial insemination kind of thing.
The Annunciation story.
Yes, the story of Angel Gabriel coming to Mary and saying, do you want to be the vessel that holds the Messiah? And she goes, I guess. And then he says, yeah, and to you will now be the vessel that carries the Lord. And she goes, okay. And then she goes to her mom and Joseph and goes, hey, I'm pregnant with the Lord's baby. And then he's like, no, you're a whore. And then there was a dream that the Lord sent to Joseph, and he said, okay, I'm the baby daddy. We'll pretend like it's okay.
Joseph was
Yeah.
black too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's taking care of someone else's baby, for sure.
Do.
Well, if anyone wants to call in to the podcast for murdering and cannibalization,
Procrastination?
And
our number
blasphemy.
here
And blasphemy.
510-859-4173. 510-859-4173. Give us a call. We'll do some on-air harmonies with you.
On air harmony.
And if you have any questions about killing people or cannibalism, let us know. We'd be happy to answer them for you. Murder Tips, sponsored by Final Corp.
If you're murdering, get one of these bags of water and stuff in the dead bodies.
Going murdering?
Bring your portable blender with you.
Or I can draw a map for, like, Tin Killer in Oklahoma City.
There we
Or
go.
actually, I think it's Midwest City. It's in
'Cause of the
between
clay.
Oklahoma. Yeah, because of the red dirt.
It'll
Oklahoma
Clay
slurp
was
with
that
the
red
baby
tin
dirt.
of the
down
tin. It would eat away at the tin.
Tin Killer.
What's the tin? What does tin
It's-
have to do with
I
it?
think it's spelled...
Or is it TEN?
I want to say it's... I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't been to Oklahoma in a while. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me check.
It's
Let me check.
probably that the mud opens and closes in weird ways, and bodies weighted correctly might fall down into those
Oh.
cracks and then be sealed in the mud, devoured by clay life. Hashtag
That
clay
would be
life.
that would be the way to do it. Hashtag Clay Life.
Yeah.
It's my tattoo.
Clay life representing.
Okay. Here we go. Lake. I'm gonna Google Chrome this fucker because I'm
What's
lazy.
Google?
I have some lie.
Lake Tin Killer in Oklahoma. It's TENKILLER.
TEN. Okay.
Ten Killer. It's like the number.
Yeah.
So
So if you
it's a
got if
reservoir.
9 bodies or below, go somewhere else. Once you
So-
get 10, you want to go to 10 Killer Lake.
Mhm.
Dump them all in there. We got you covered. Oklahoma, the land of murder.
I'm checking to see how many dead bodies have been found in Lake Tin Killer.
These are the stats that our audience has been clamoring for.
Well,
They
these
They
burning
need to know the
questions
truth.
keep
They
me
need
up
to
at
know.
night.
The truth is
Oklahoma,
out there.
Shout out, girls, don't go walking around alone in Tin Killer. That's what my parents told me. I mean, honestly, don't go to the lake alone by yourself. I think that's a general rule for girls, or in general. I don't know. Okay.
Don't go anywhere by yourself, and don't go anywhere with a man.
Well, I wonder if some of that historical knowledge could use some updating. Like the whole story, you tell your kid, like, oh, don't talk to strangers, right?
Absolutely.
But the thing is, if you don't talk to strangers, then you don't develop skills on how to deal with different kinds of people and personalities and stuff. So you must talk to strangers.
I'm all for that. I think helicopter parenting is dangerous.
Oh shoot! Another thing just came up, guys.
Just because the rotors go so fast.
What's up with the clay dirt, though? You've been baiting us with this clay dirt talk for so long.
Yeah.
Okay. One other thing. Have you guys heard of the Girl Scout murders in the 70s?
Is it associated with the clay dirt?
No, this happened in at a Girl Scout camp in the 70s. And this guy.
In where? In Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma, it's another.
Wow.
It's another murder. Like Oklahoma is
Oh,
a
good.
hotbed of great, juicy stories.
Well,
Like,
I think
I
every
apologize
state.
to the families of any of the people that were related to because it's still an unsolved mystery. They still don't know who did it.
I think every state has their own
Sure.
sordid past.
Yep.
If you want to talk about Massachusetts history,
Okay.
take us a couple hours, a
Okay,
couple
so
days.
The clay dirt. Let me say red dirt, Oklahoma. It comes up for that.
Well,
I'm confused. What are we looking up?
we needed to learn something about the red clay dirt in Oklahoma and how
Ah.
the Tin Can City lake.
Right, right. So we got the spelling.
Okay, red dirt report.
Hmm.
It's a red dirt report. Okay, here, red dirt report. Oh, it's a newspaper.
Did you know that some people are addicted to red dirt?
People eat dirt.
Mm-hmm. They put it in their teeth
yeah,
and
the
they
parts
weird
of
addiction.
Africa. They like have these cookies that are fucking dirt because there's no food around. They're so
Whoa.
in poverty.
That's a total bummer story. Again,
It's a
thank
total
you.
bummer.
But I was talking about something different than that.
That reminded me of eating dirt.
That's bad. Thank you.
Hey,
what I was thinking
empathy
of.
and imagination.
What I was
it's not
thinking
all,
of was
it's not all rainbows.
I knew people like flight attendants who lived in the East Bay, and they would go and they would see red clay dirt in California, and they would put it in between their teeth and kind of grind it between their
Yeah.
teeth and suck on it
Really?
because they were addicted to it.
Okay.
Mm.
So okay, so let me just put this out there. So, like the Trail of Tears, like Oklahoma was Native American territory,
Right.
where they sent all the
Right.
they genocide all the Native Americans and sent them to Oklahoma, and were like, well, we'll figure it out later, right?
Cool.
So tribes that came to Oklahoma, they like called it like a cursed land, like the red dirt, or they're like, it's the tears of our people, or like this is later racism about like red skinned, red dirt. So it kind of comes from that. So this is what it says about red dirt on Google. Driving deep into central Oklahoma countryside with the veteran Oklahoman photographer Steve Simpson, he looks at the windows of the landscape and the amalgamation of the sky, field, and cattle, twisted dead trees, the wreckage of home, and the rusting shell of car. Okay. So red dirt, it has different meanings for different tribes, and like I told you before, like it'll just kind of disintegrate, and you got to like water your foundation. Like when it gets above 100 degrees, you got to, and it gets really dry.
Sounds like good life advice.
Yeah.
Water your foundation.
And this is the thing. Like I'm sure you guys have probably been told this, right? At some point, like if it's hotter than a certain amount, you don't want to crack your foundation. Your house is ruined after that.
I've never heard that before.
Really? Okay, yeah.
Not here in the sunny California.
So-
Everything's perfect all the time.
So, yeah, Oklahoma's, also the other thing is basements are hard to maintain in Oklahoma because of the problem with the red dirt. So, like, other tribes have different things, and also red clay is a thing in Oklahoma, too. Like, they export clay for pottery and, like, ceramics, and it's not the same as terracotta, but it's like terracotta clay. It has, like, a nice kind of pink color to it when it's baked, when it's kilned, put in the kiln. Is that baked? Fired.
Okay,
When it's fired.
That works.
Okay.
So we got
That's the lowdown on the
thank
red
you.
dirt.
Okay.
Thank you
Such
for
as it
the
is.
I think we've exhausted red dirt.
cool.
Or it's from all the dead bodies, and it's just, colored in red.
I don't think so, but oh yeah, there we are. You could start a hyperloop and go backwards through time, and if you want to, but that might be dangerous. I don't know. You guys willing?
Would you go back if, let's say, you could go back in time, but you couldn't come? You could only go back, and you'd have to stay there.
And then like age again.
First of all, would you do it? And second of all, where would you go, or when would you go?
I already know. Florence, Italy.
Florence, Italy.
And I
land
would
of murder, death, and usury.
And I would stalk Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, you would stalk him?
I think he was into the boys.
Yeah, no, he was. He was. I would figure out a way to get into his notebook and figure out his mirror writing. Knowing what I know now, I can hack his journals and then steal his shit.
Huh.
That's
so
what
you'd
I
go
would
back
do.
in time and steal
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci's
That or I'd just
stuff.
be a groupie and I'd be like his favorite fag hag ever. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
That's
I'd
cool.
just
That
say
sounds good.
That or if he didn't like me, then I'd go to Michelangelo, who was also into boys. And I'd go tell him, yeah, Da Vinci's got you cornered, man. You got to hear this horse he's working on, man. He's working on a really amazing horse. You got to step this shit up at the Sistine Chapel, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a cool answer.
You'd have to learn Italian.
Do scoot.
You'd have to learn like an ancient
That means
version
$2.
of Italian.
That means $2 in
Grazie.
Italian.
Si.
I have
Well, his
sung
mirror
Italian.
writing is literally just mirror writing,
Right.
so there's no
I
decoding.
have sung Italian, so I know I could get away with them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That means
You could
dirty
woo him
man.
with some opera.
That means
version of
$2.
Italian.
I could. Here's hoping he likes opera.
I hope so.
You'd like to
mean-
think so.
I mean,
Was it even around then? I guess it was.
How cool would it be if we went back in time and like it was the songs were kind of like AC/DC, like they were just as angry, you know, but just didn't survive.
Just on
because
the
it was-
on the lyre.
Yeah,
Da Vinci,
or like the
like,
lyre or
thrashing
whatever. Like, what if like the minstrels and the lyrics and like the fools, all of those guys really were like rock stars, and the music didn't get passed down because
The loser
because
doesn't
it was
create
like, yeah,
history.
because it was like, you know, the classic, you know.
Maybe Da
Musician
Vinci
down the
invented
street.
headbanging on the lyre. You know, just
Well, you got to
see
spin
that.
it around like a helicopter.
he had long hair.
Yeah.
He gave up shaving his face once he was very philosophical about it. He said that, well, nothing in nature gets a haircut, so why should I? And he just never cut his hair again.
What do you think of like
Good call.
Yeah.
like laudate domino, laudate domino? That's got some rock undertones to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about like the monks in
How's that go again?
laudate domino, laudate domino, verbum.
That's Green Day, right? Sounds
Jesu viter. It's Greek. It's Greek, and it means like I'm sorry I've sinned. I'm sorry I've sinned. God forgive me. God forgive me. But yeah, put that on some beats. To some religious music on some beats. I think Gregorian chant on some beats would be dope.
could work. Gregorian,
Yeah.
like dubstep
Yeah,
or something.
I think this could be a thing.
It could be cool.
That could be cool. It'd be great to do like during Lent. On Good Friday, you
Gregorian
know,
vocal dubstep.
Have a dubstep rave, you know, and you pass out. Hang on, I need to stop while we're ahead. This could get really weird really fast. Did you guys know that originally the Eucharist was actually things like shrooms and hallucinogens?
Yeah,
It
all
wasn't-
appropriated.
Santa
from
Claus
the,
was a shroom dealer.
It
appropriated
was,
from the pagan
right.
traditions.
And I
N'est-ce
just
pas?
yes. So originally the communion was supposed to be, you know, hallucinogens and all that, but then they appropriated it to be a weird mock blood sacrifice
Yeah,
cannibalism.
because it fits into monotheism way better.
It does. It does. And there's no better way to get an entire nation on board and saying, hey, you're suffering now, but you get to go to heaven later. Just suffer in silence.
Yeah, I mean the mind control has constantly been going on.
Absolutely.
You know.
It's the opiate of the
Oh, yeah.
masses.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Right?
Mind control. Mind control. Mind control. Mind control.
Mind control, cannibalism,
The truth is out there.
Empathy
murder
and
tips.
imagination.
murder.
Keeping it
tips.
light.
Keeping it light today.
We're
We
going-
went dark and deep.
Saturday the 14th, day after Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
It is.
Yes.
Very hot in here right
Sweaty.
now. I appreciate the temperature. It's great.
Empathy and imagination. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for being
I've
here.
enjoyed myself.
I want to thank
Cool.
Thank
I
you for
enjoyed myself.
I want to thank you for taking the time to coming out here and for telling your stories and talking to us. I want to thank our sponsors, Zeist.net, Ziced.net. Tell us, Ari, all the technical needs.
All your technical and non-technical needs, hardware, software,
Firmware.
networking, troubleshooting, Zeist.net, Zeist Digital. Check us out.
Yeah.
And Clark Pool and Spa.
Yeah, clarkpoolspa.com. All of your pool and spa needs, questions, concerns, ideas, theories. clarkpoolspa.com.
Okay, so Ashley, do you have any...
Where can they find you?
Yeah, where can we find more about you? What's your Instagram, your Facebook?
My Instagram is miss.applejacks36, and my Twitter, which I just started recently, is also the same. Miss Applejacks36. Kind of spelled like the pony, Applejacks. I didn't realize that. It was a name given to me by a student.
Nice.
So short for Ashley Jane.
Cool. Right on. Okay. Thank you.
And check out my artwork that's going up at Taqueria Sanchez in Pinole.
Okay.
And find me on Facebook. My artwork is Ashley Jane Tomajan artist page. And it should come up that way. Yeah. Check out my screen prints and my paintings. And come see me out at Toots at the open mic.
Yeah.
And if there's
Toots.
anything
Yeah,
else.
when is the open mic there?
It's,
First Monday.
Second Monday. I
Second
thought.
Monday.
Second Monday.
Second Monday at Toots. They got jams. Yeah, there was some drama before I went on stage.
Yeah.
A guy lost his guitar, and
But he got it back.
he did get it back. He did.
Yeah.
It was a good time though. Oh, shout out to Margaret. Thank you for letting me do my stand up.
Margaret.
And sing. Gotta love Margaret. One of my favorite people here
Maggie.
in Crockett. Yes.
Yes. Excellent.
Cool.
Shout out to
Thanks.
Margaret. Shout out to the people. Love
Shout out to
everybody.
the people.
Thank you.
That's our show.
That's our show.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
AJ out. That was fun. Hopefully one of many.
Yes. Thank you.